They're like, well, I got my name, I got all of this stuff, right? Well, it's like, well, your name is Andy's Cleaning Service or Mike or John. How are people going to find you? They're not looking for Andy. They're not even looking for you. What they're looking for is a name and location of a service that they could buy from. The name and location of a service that they could buy from. So, for example, we have a Thai restaurant in our neighborhood. Some of the best Thai food that I've ever had. Some of the best Thai food that I ever had. You know what the name of their Thai restaurant is? Take a guess. Take a guess. Best Thai Dallas. That's the name of it. You ever notice the Thai restaurants don't put their name, their family's name there? It's like Best Thai, Brooklyn Thai. Keep it simple. So, for example, New York Cleaning. You go to that website, you type in New York and what you do, and it's going to spit out names. BigAppleCleaners.co, NewYorkProClean.com, NewYorkCleanPro.com. Keep it simple. Atlanta. I know we got some ATL in the house. Where y'all from? I know we got Atlanta. We got Brooklyn, right? AtlantaCleaningPros.com. Why do you think we don't overcomplicate this stuff? Because the faster you get started, the faster you get your clients. So we got our business name. Type check in the chat. Now let's go through logo right quick. I use technology for our business, right? You talk about automation and AI. Automate the process. Canva, Word, Logo AI, ChatGPT, or Manus. Manus actually creates amazing images. Now we got chat. Who you are, what you do, and what you're trying to create a logo for. Done. Website, how to collect website, super important. The way it used to be. The way it used to be is you used to have I'm gonna have my friends and family do my website. I'm gonna hire this expensive designer to build it. We built the app for that. TinyTrack.io. All of our clients now get a website through this software. Done. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Using AI. So we got our business name, we got our logo, we got our website. Was that helpful so far? Now, how to collect payment. How to collect payment. Wix is not transferable to a lot of domains, so you get stuck with an outdated Wix website. So I would not recommend using Wix. So how to collect payment. I recommend Squarespace, I recommend GoDaddy, I recommend WordPress. So how to collect payment. So make it fast and easy for your clients to pay you. Make it fast and easy for your clients to pay you. So we don't do cash, we don't do Venmo, we don't do Cash App, we don't do PayPal. Have an online payment processor, Stripe.com. Because think about it. When you guys are traveling or you're at your job or whatever you guys do, how are you going to collect payment talking about Cash, Zelle, PayPal me? You want to make it fast and easy for your clients to pay you. Like when my loan guy comes, it's like, oh, well, how can you pay me? Yeah, you can do Zelle, you can do Cash App, you can do this. Can I just pay you online? Keep my credit card on file and charge me whenever you leave? Wouldn't that be more simple for your ideal clients who's going to probably pay a little bit more for a premium service? Let me know in the chat if that's making sense. So business name, logo, website, how to collect payment. So now you got the back end, a little bit in the front end for your business. So I want you guys to think about those things. Your business name is already done, easy, representative of who you are, what you do, and what your clients are looking for. Best Cleaning Service Detroit, right? You got your easy identified logo. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't have too many elements. Have it readable. Have it printable. Fully optimized website where your clients can find, book, and pay you. Your clients need to be able to book you 24/7 from your website. And they have the capacity to give you money ASAP. ASAP. So this allowed you to separate yourself from the competition before day one. So we launched. Now, how do we talk about finding the right people? So if you had to work 24 hours in a day, how much money could you make? That's a rhetorical question because you can't work 24 hours in a day. But you know who can? The CEO of your company. How can the CEO of your company work 24/7, 365, and make money? delegation and operations. They can make money around the clock because they're not making money with their time. They're making money with their leverage. They're leveraging us, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. We get paid to do a job, and they run the company. So why would a cleaner work with you before you even have proof that you can build the business? If you've never done this before and you're brand new. So most cleaners have little to no online presence. Here's a stat. 50% of cleaning businesses don't even have a website. And the other 50%, you can't even book them online. So only 25% of businesses you can find, book, and pay 100% online. 25%. So remember I said that million, 25% of that. Not many clients. So this is a screenshot that I'm sharing with you guys because I got this from a person who has a cleaning service. And they were looking to gain more clients. But I'm going to break down the 5 key elements of what they said, so you don't have to read the whole thing. Customer service and systems are lacking. Customer service and systems are lacking. Here's a cleaning company in my area. And I'm proving this to you because this is a real car, right? This is oh, my bad.
How to make $20,000.
I was trying to do my live and it cut me off. So they were a real company in my area, and this is a real car, real company, real car, and I decided to call them. And what do you think happened when I called the business? What do you think happened when I called the business? It went to voicemail. But when do you think they called me back? They called me back 3 days later. It was 4 hours at first. First call came in 4 hours later. And then they called me 3 to 4 days after that. So their systems are lacking. Every missed call is a missed opportunity for more business. So every single client that calls our business, they get an immediate text back if we miss it. And we're sending them to our voice AI agents if our team is offline. And most importantly, some people just rather do what they're good at, which is cleaning. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. So I ain't going to sit here and say, just because I clean my mama's house on Sundays or Saturdays when she played gospel music, or Kirk Franklin, or The Temptations, or Patti LaBelle, that I'm good at cleaning. I did it because I had to. I didn't want to get a being. So most of the time people come to us like, I want to build a cleaning business because I'm good at cleaning. No, you're not. No, you're not. You ain't good. I promise you, you're not that good. Because we've had people work with us who said that they were good. And they probably thought that they assumed that they were really good. This is why we say you're only one cleaning partner away from changing your life. One cleaning partner away from changing your life. Breaking it down here. So one of our cleaners made our business almost $500,000 with just one cleaner. Just one. We have a roster of about 15 at this point. But if you can find one and lock in with them, that's what you can do. There was a whole video here, but we removed it because she was breaking down the business and explaining why she works with us and why she loves it. It's like too many people seeing your face. We don't want to put you out there like that, right? But locking with one person can absolutely change your life. So where do you find cleaners at?
Hold on, Anthony.
You good?
You're just gonna skip over how you made 500 large with one person. And here's why I'm slowed down. Here's why I slowed this part down.
I just dissed you.
Because some people think, oh, you need 10 businesses to make 500,000. You need 20 businesses. You need 7 streams. One industry, one subcontractor, $500,000. I want everyone to, you know what? Everyone watching this live and the replay, type in 500,000, 500 large. Everyone type it in, 500 large. Let that sink in. people think I need a lot. You need to focus. All right, Anthony, sorry.
You don't need a lot. You need to focus. You need to focus. So Dre just said that, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you dropping that, Dre. Because let me break it down, because she's been with our company from the very beginning. And I showed this slide to show people that you may be thinking that no one wants, it's not about the number. You may be thinking that no one wants to work with you. She's made our company $500,000. How much did she make from that? She's supporting friends. She's supporting family. She's supporting her entire household. Now, we might have got lucky and just found one amazing person, but we can't be the only lucky ones, right? Now we're talking to her about doing other things in our business, right? But I showed this because one person can absolutely change life. She made us believe that this is possible. I know the number part is super important, but this also, she's never stolen our clients, right? You're like, oh, people steal your clients. Yes, they can. But if you find one that is locked in and focused with you, oh, they might do this and they might do that. These are all the excuses we hear from people every single day. And it's like, there's not an excuse that I haven't heard yet. We've been teaching this stuff now for 6 years, 5 years. And we've had our own business now for almost 9. So there's not a question, there's not a concern, there's not an excuse that we have not heard before. No question is new under the sun. So no matter how unique you think your position is, I guarantee you it's not. Because somebody has already asked that question. And we've already solved it. And if we didn't solve it, one of our students has solved it. So appreciate you highlighting that, Dre. Because yes, one cleaner alone literally changed our entire business to show us what was possible. So where do you find that person, right? Because the next thing is like, okay, Anthony, you got lucky. Where do we find people? You guys ever heard of this website here? This is an old school one. If you're over the age of 35, you probably know what this is. Maybe 30, 33. Let me know in the chat. Fun fact, there was a killer on this platform. Now I'm on a little tangent. There's a killer on this platform who is luring people in and killing them. This person went to my university, which is absolutely the Craigslist killer. They went to my university, which is crazy. I didn't know them, obviously, but cool. Old school, not sexy website. It's a directory. It's still in business because it is not sexy. It's boring. You see the tonality here around everything we're talking about? Boring, not sexy. Still operates and works every single day. Let's get a little bit more sexy. Facebook groups. These are screenshots that my wife literally took this week and put it inside of our Slack group from Facebook groups. People advertising their services. Looking for a cleaning company, or here's my card, call me if you want a service. So all we do is just collect cards, digital assets that we can send to our team to find out they're looking for more work. And this was this week, still doing it. So remember this message I showed you earlier. I'm gonna break it down. 5 key elements of a person that you probably want to work with. Have a small cleaning service, looking to gain more clients, affordable price. I travel and have my own supplies. So when the question is, don't you have to give them supplies? If they're already cleaning homes, what should they have? Their own supplies. And last but not least, remember I said there's people who just love what they do. I love cleaning. Don't they sound like an ideal cleaning partner for your business? So we see a message like this, all we do is reach out. Hey, are you looking for more work? Let me know if that's making sense. Indeed, ZipRecruiter, housekeeper.com, word of mouth, Nextdoor. These are all places you guys can go and find cleaners today. Remember, we said we want to get you guys started today. You don't have to overthink it, right? You can go to Nextdoor.com and literally type in the word cleaner. And you will see people advertising their services every single day. Your hiring process isn't to find the best person. It's to weed out 99% of people so it leaves you with a better candidate. Do you think your company wants to interview 100 people that you work with? The company that you work for right now, do you think they want to interview 100 people? Yes or no? Hell no. Heck no. So the hiring process that you have at your 9-to-5 job, application, phone screening, you got the interview process, you got the background check, you got the reference check, you got the cover letter, all these things that we have for our 9-to-5 job, we have the same thing for our cleaning businesses. Because we want to weed out the people who aren't serious so that we could be left with the best candidates possible from the hiring perspective. Let me know if this is making sense, guys. Let me know if this is making sense. And your job ad and interview scripts will help with this. Who we are, what we do. If you're looking to make your own schedule, here's how we work. Here's what you do. Here's what we request from you. Do you have insurance? Are you willing to get background check? Can you legally work here? How would you clean a home? Do you have a partner? Do you have reliable transportation? Do you have a bank account? There's a reason you're asking that. It might seem like a silly question. Do you have a bank account? You won't believe how many people don't have bank accounts. And if you don't have a bank account, how can I pay you? I can't do direct deposit. It makes my life easier. Do you have business liability insurance? That's another one that weeds people out. That's another one that weeds people out. Because most people don't have business liability insurance. Most cleaners don't. Because they've been cleaning their whole lives and no one ever asked them for it, which is fine. But the other question would be, if you don't have it, are you willing to get it? Are you willing to get it? So let me know if you guys agree with this statement. The CEO of your company doesn't have to know how to do the work. Think about your job today. I worked in IT for 15 years. I was a director at a company with 35 people who worked under me. There was 100 people at the company when I left. Do you think the CEO of my company, when I called out or I went on trips, do you think he left his office and came and did my job? Their job is not to know how to do the work. Their job is to find a way to get the work done. So when you as the CEO find the right people, you can focus on growing the business. So isn't it better operating from a CEO perspective? So when cleaners or when people comment on our ads every single day, I could pull up probably 20 comments today. This is a scam. This is not possible. This is not real. You got to know how to clean in order to run a cleaning business. But my CEO of my IT company did it for, I think he was at the company for 15 years. Started in what, 2008 maybe? No one said you have to know how to use technology in order to run a technology firm. You know what he did? He partnered with a CTO and they built a multi-million-dollar IT firm. Brilliant, genius. 2008, 2011, 2012. During that time frame, you got the Airbnbs, the Ubers, the DoorDashes, the gig economy is starting to boom. He did the same thing, but in technology. Why would you start a business in 2008 when there's a recession? Oh, there's a recession. Why would you start a business during a pandemic? Why would you start a business when there's a war? There's always going to be a quote unquote better time to start something. But during that better time, everybody's going to get started. He nailed it. Look, put that on the screen, Jay. Can I put that on the screen? Damn, I'm not even there. It is. No, I want the other one. There it is. Everybody is scared. When people are afraid to do something, that's the best time to do it. When he told me that he started his company during 2008, I was getting out of college trying to get a job. And I'm like, ain't no jobs out here. I'm going to stay in college another year. I stayed in college in 2009. I was like, 2010, I got my first job. He started a whole entire company when everybody said, this is a dumb time to start a business. That's why when I left my job, he sat down with me and said, Anthony, don't be a B. He said, don't be a B. And he said, you'll learn about that later on. He's like, you might not understand it now, but don't be a B. And this is a white man like talking to me as a black guy. Like, what you mean? We about to fight. But now I understood. Now I understand. He said, don't be afraid. There's always going to be a quote unquote better time to do something. But when there is, everybody's gonna be doing it. Everybody's gonna be doing it. So, Dre, that's it for me, man. That's it for me. Let me know where you want to take the presentation. Let me know where you want to kick it at. Where you want to take it from here, bro. Dre might not even be going. I could keep going as always. Oh. He said, keep going. Keep going. Y'all want me to keep going? Y'all want me to keep going? Let me know. If Dre need me to keep going, I got it.
Woo! Damn.
I can always keep going. I wanted to stay on time because I know he went. I know I hopped on a little early, but I wanted to make sure you was good.
Man.
Yo, Anthony, what's up, man?
Bro?
Andre, what's up? How y'all doing?
What's up, big time?
Yo, Anthony, man, I just like watching you present. You know, I haven't seen it in a few years, but like, for those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Steven Story. I'm about to present here in a second. But before I present, I want to talk to Andre and Anthony real quick because these were like my peers in 2021, 2020, 22. And kind of a bit of a segue into what I'll be talking about. Like, we were all cranking out online business together and doing some serious numbers when nobody else was talking about it. And like, I didn't know what was possible. I had to look to Andre, look to Anthony, look to Anthony and his wife, by the way, and you know, everybody else that was kind of running real business at that time. I had to look to us to see how to do this stuff, you know, day in, day out. And like I said, I'm a segue into what I do and what I'm gonna teach y'all today. I don't have a pretty slideshow like Anthony because I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I don't really teach on slides. I never teach on slides. I just teach like this. Main thing I want to teach y'all today is the mental models around creating systems, right? But before I get into that, Anthony, man, y'all been kicking ass for so long, bro. And I'm just so happy to see it. You know, like my mother and father were in business together for 35 years. You know, they got into business and they did real estate. And so like, I'm a product of what y'all are doing, you know? And it's just, it's so fun for me to watch it because I saw my parents do it when they were in their 30s. And now my dad's in his 70s now, he's retired and everything. My dad's a Sigma too, by the way. Yeah. So
He's a Sigma. And you a Kappa, huh? How did that work?
Hey, he wasn't happy about it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He wasn't happy about it at all. But you know, I just want to take just 2 minutes to edify y'all. I pay attention to what y'all got going on. I'm so happy to see it. And I'm also happy to see y'all do business the right way. You know, just some of the things that Anthony talks about, I talk about as well. And I am going to talk about it because we run similar businesses as far as setups. But I think that, like, bro, watching y'all continue to grow, especially as people quit, man. Everybody quits, man. Like, so many people, you know, Andre, Anthony, we can name 20 people off the top of our head that we both know together that have quit since 2022 for whatever reason. Algorithm change, they quit. You know, whatever product they were working doesn't work anymore, they quit. They got found out to be a scammer or fraud or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they couldn't figure out customer service. They couldn't figure out how to deal with thousands of people at a time. And, you know, to watch y'all and what y'all been able to do, bro, it's just like, when y'all be going on vacation, I'll be on vacation with y'all in my head. You
live on vacation, bro.
We gonna get into that. I'm trying to hide that from everybody. Okay?
Speaking of that, yeah, he actually lives on vacation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
of that title.
I had actually wrote my presentation out, and I'm listening to Anthony. I was like, I gotta talk about something else because I get
to your script.
No, but I'm saying, like, I get so pumped up about this, man, and like, you know, I was kind of just running.
Hold on 1 minute, Steven. I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna bring you back up.
You good?
Okay, cool. All right, Anthony, appreciate the time, brother. Appreciate the game. How can people find you?
Yeah, y'all could I ain't got no CTA today, but y'all can find me at the Hartrimony. Dre dropped it a few times. If you want to learn more about how we started a remote cleaning business, go to Cleaning Business Masterclass. We do these masterclasses literally every single week now for 2 years. Our students have done over $21 million, man. But we just want to get some game today. Yes, still crushing it. We got a screenshot this week. Student hit $600,000 in his remote cleaning business, him and his wife, man. So
Damn.
yeah, cleaningbusinessmasterclass.com. We give it all away for free. If you want us to help you implement, we'll talk about it on there. But appreciate you, Dre. Steven, you guys, I'll be on the back end.
All right, see you soon. All right, appreciate the game. Woo, a lot of game given out. Got my man Steven Story coming up next. Before I do, housekeeping items. So this is free for you guys, not for me, and not for our sponsors. So we have some sponsors who chipped in some bread. Some people just sent over some Cash App love and say, Dre, I don't want to be a full sponsor, but I want to show some love. So thank you everyone who donated monetarily. I want you to go follow our sponsors now. One is my man Frank from Pittsburgh, real estate expert. He is speaking tomorrow. He works so he buys properties and he rents them out to people who are in government assistance programs, not just Section 8. So everyone go follow Frank. Say, hey, Frank, thanks for the love at the Boring Business Summit. He put up some bread. The other one is Kaylani. She owns a notary company and settlement company in Pennsylvania, and she also owns a junk removal business. She will be speaking later on tonight. I want you to go follow her as well. Say, hey, thank you for the love, for showing love at the summit. Do it right this second, right now. Head over there. And everyone else who just showed love, send over 10, 20, $100. We appreciate it. We kept this one free because I felt that this message had to be given out. It had to be given out. So flyers, school communities, StreamYards, Brother Dre and the sponsors put it together. If you guys show them love, I'd appreciate it. So now we have the great Steven Story coming up. The iconic Steven Story. And as Anthony said earlier, yes, he runs an automated online business, well, semi-automated, that he runs from anywhere in the world. He can live anywhere in the world. This guy is dynamic. I will be dropping his information below. If you have any desire to make money without working as hard as possible, you need to hire him. I'll say it real plain. If you have any desire to make money while not working as hard as you possibly can, he is the guy. Steven, the legendary Story, you are up, good brother.
All right, y'all. What's up? Shout out again to Anthony. Shout out to Andre. I'm so happy you put this on. Guys, I'm used to talking to crowds of people who already kind of know about me. So I usually have to give myself a huge introduction, but I don't know if y'all know me. So I'm gonna tell y'all about me. My name is Steven Story. I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I dropped out of college and I got into the insurance industry back in 2008. From there, I got into bail bonding, ran a bail bond business. I was 22 years old when I started doing that. And I really pushed marketing, put myself out there. That business did well for me. Fast forward a few years, I get into insurance adjusting. This is like the most boring, unsexy thing alive, okay? And I'm saying my background for a reason, okay? So I consider myself to be a semi-intelligent person. I don't think I'm the smartest person ever, but I'm pretty smart. And one thing I noticed in undergrad, I was like, I like to party, but I'm smart, but all my friends study really hard and they want to be lawyers and doctors and engineers and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't want to compete against them. I don't want to compete against anybody smart, as a matter of fact. And so my career from 2008, when I got my insurance license, until now has been, I want to be a smart person competing against people who are not as smart. And if I can do that, I'm going to get outsized results. So that was my first mental model, which is don't compete against the smartest people. Do not compete against the hardest workers, right? And so that led me to bail bonding, which then led me into insurance adjusting. When I got into insurance adjusting, I was doing about $120,000 a year. It was hard work, but I was doing like $120K in the first year. I didn't have to sell, I didn't do anything. All I had to do was just answer phones, analyze insurance claims for cars and houses. And I was getting six figures when I was like, 25, 26 years old, right? And so as I kept going on in my career, I had read some books. One of the books I read was called 80-20 Principle. And the other book was called 4-Hour Work Week. And so in those books, the first one was called 4-Hour Work Week. It was about geo arbitrage. That was one thing that stuck out to me. Well, two things. One was online business. The second thing was geo arbitrage. And so what geo arbitrage is where you earn in a stronger currency and you live in a weaker currency. And so that piqued my interest. I was like, yo, I could do that. That's a possibility for me. But technology hadn't caught up yet. Social media hadn't caught up yet. None of the things we had caught up yet at that time. And so I was like, all right, geo arbitrage, I got this. And I just kind of bookmarked that. And then the next thing was online business. And at that time, online business was like drop shipping and, you know, selling clothes and stuff like that. And I wasn't really into that just yet. But fast forward, I'm making money as an insurance adjuster. I'm getting deeper into my career. Pandemic happens. Before pandemic happens, I did a mentorship learning how to run an online service, running online business. And this was my journal, right? And this is my journal from 2008. Yeah, 2018. And I wrote down all these things through a mentorship that I learned about how to run an online business. But I did not have a company yet. I didn't have an idea yet. I just had the bones of the systems that I needed to use, right? And so at this time, I'm just skipping through time, y'all. Now we're 2019 going to 2020. By 2019, I had already left the United States. I'm sorry, I left the United States in 2018. So I left in 2018. I'm working and living in Canada for an insurance company. I leave. So now I'm starting to do this whole live outside the country thing and earn money. I come back to the States. I go to Brazil for most of a year, like 9 months. And at that time, I wasn't working. But again, I'm kind of chewing on this idea of online income, right? I'm just kind of just thinking through it. Got my journal, I'm kind of reading it, but I'm still hitting the beach all the time, partying, right? And I'm like, I can do some of this. You know, this is possible. I'm smart enough. I can do this. And I go back to the States. Pandemic happens, 2020. I'm in insurance. I have a strong background at this point in 2020, and everybody's losing their job. And I'm like, Doc, somebody got to do something about this. Somebody has to help these people, right? And so we get into the summer of 2020. I meet up with Bees, Simone Bees. Some of y'all might know Simone Bees on Instagram or YouTube or Twitter or TikTok or whatever. She's pretty big. But anyway, I had never told anyone what I did for a living at this point. Nobody knew I was in insurance as far as social media was concerned. I always had a large social media following, but I just didn't talk about my job. He said, Steven, what do you do for a living? You know, we're out in Texas having dinner. And I explained to her what I did as an insurance adjuster. She's like, you need to make a course about this. And that was like in July. And I'm like, you know, I think I could do it. And I kind of write out a little framework for it. And then I make a video. I make a little 8-minute video on Twitter. And I get like 1,000 comments. Right? It was people they're like begging for work. They need a job. They're like, yo, you can make 6 figures doing this. How do I do it? Tell me what I need to do. So, all right, cool. And so I just start reading through the comments and I just put that answer in the course. And as I saw repetitive questions, I just put that in the course, put in the course, right? And I did a pre-sale on it. In the first month, I did $11,000, all right? And at that time, I was already doing like $13,000 at my job. So I'm making like, $24,000 a month at this point. I've moved back to Brazil. So now I'm back in Brazil. I'm making $24,000 a month. And at that time, $1 was like almost 5 reais down here, right? So my income effectively multiplied by 5 because I was practicing geo arbitrage, which I told you about already, and I had already left the country. And so it's pandemic. I'm out the country. I got my remote job and I have an online income. I'm kicking ass. Life is getting really good, right? But because I didn't really think about the marketing side of it, I was like, all right, I dropped my course. That's what it is. And then the next month I made $1,500. And the next month I made $1,000. And the next month I made $500. And it kind of stayed like that for several months. I'm like, I didn't really care too much because I was already making so much money. And here in Brazil it's so cheap for me that I didn't really care, right? So fast forward again. I'm in Amsterdam. The euro is much stronger than the real, right? So $1 is like 80 cents in Europe, right? Now I'm kind of burning through money pretty quick, right? I'm dating some girls out there. I'm kicking it. I think y'all seen a thread of me hanging out and partying all the time, right? So that's kind of my personality. So I'm like, hold on, I'm running through my money really quick. How do I get back to what I was doing, $11,000 a month, right? And I still got this social media following. I think people are still looking for work, all right? Let me lean into, let's make a secondary course. Let's make a second course, a follow-up course to the first course I made. I do that, I make $16,000 that month. I go back, I'm in New York for a bit. And now like I'm back at home. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do what I did last year, which was drop a course and I don't do anything for it. I'm gonna promote this thing every single day. All right. And so I start promoting it. And then I do $16,000, then I do 20 grand, then I do 30 grand, then I do 40 grand, then I do 50 grand, right? And the more I did it, the more I pushed, the more I marketed, the more I promoted, day in, day out, I had less shame around selling. I made more money and I got more systematic, okay? Now, again, I'm telling you my backstory so I can tell you all the systems behind all this, right? And so I got more systematic. I started identifying bottlenecks. I started hiring more people as needed, right? I picked my sister up. She was my first employee. Then I picked up a team of VAs, right? Virtual assistants. And then from there, my business just kept scaling and scaling and scaling, right? Because I got to focus on promoting and putting out content. And then I had systems in place to then kind of scaffold my business and keep my business fortified, right? So that's my story. That's my backend. That's who I am. Those are the numbers, right? Done over, $500,000 in sales online. I live in Brazil full time. I speak fluent Portuguese. I've been living in Brazil for 7 years now. I lived in New York as well for a bit, lived in Canada, out there in Europe for a bit. But I spend most of my time here in Brazil. I live in essentially the Brazilian Caribbean. My friends text me before I got on this and they was like, hey, Steve, you want to go to an island tomorrow? I might hit the islands for a few days. But I wanted to paint that picture for y'all because I don't want this presentation to be boring, all right? Because what I'm about to start teaching y'all are some of my models, whether it was mental models, my standard operating procedures, or how I go about solving problems. That stuff isn't sexy, okay? It might put you to sleep, but these things save your business, okay? These things save you from being stressed out, all right? It's so I tell people all the time, y'all, if you have more than 10 people you're selling to in a month, you're gonna be stressed out if you don't have a system in place, okay? Imagine onboarding 900 people. That's the most people I ever onboarded in 1 month. 900 new students in 1 month. And I did it standing on my head. It was so easy because I had systems in place, all right? So let me go ahead and get into my presentation and kind of what I want to tell y'all today, all right? The things I want to teach you all. Because I feel like if we can approach problems in a different way, we're gonna get different results, all right? I hate running around like a chicken with my head cut off when it comes to business, all right? I want to be able to approach a problem and then know I have a systematic way of solving that problem, right? And so my first thought process as I go through problem solving is I have if this, then that. So it's like a mathematical model, but you can use it in real life. So if this and that, so if this happened, then that. So then I'm going to do this, right? So if, for example, I get a refund request, then this happens, all right? I have systems set up for it. I use Stripe and I use Gumroad as my payment processors. So if somebody asks for a refund, I'm going to email them. That's my next step, okay? That's my standard operating procedure. Hey, what's going on? Why do you want a refund? I don't just automatically deny or accept a refund. Sometimes people want a refund because they just have more questions. And once you answer the questions, the refund goes away. Sometimes they bought the course 2 times by accident. Sometimes they're going to give you a bad review, all right? Hey, I'm really pissed off with this. I thought it was this and it's not that. Hold on, my bad. Let me get this money back to you right quick because I'd rather give you the money back than get a bad review. That's one of my if this, then that. That's one mental model I use, right? That's not an AI model. That's not on paper. I just have in my mind, if somebody asks for a refund, then that, okay? Next thing, as it relates to, for example, content, okay? Content. If this, then that. If I'm going to be busy for a week, then I need to do this. All right. So if I'm going to be busy for a week, I need to front load content for when I'm not, I don't have time. So I'm going to go ahead and record extra videos. I'm going to go ahead and write my tweets out, write my emails out, and I'm going to go ahead and schedule it out. That's a if this, then that. Okay. IFTT. If this, then that. Does that make sense to everybody? It ain't the sexiest thing in the world, but I'm telling you, it works. It's a great mental model for you to be proactive instead of being reactive, right? We cannot foresee everything that's going to happen in our business, right? But if we set up mental models, we can train ourselves on how we're going to act. Okay. Next, if this then that. Okay. I know I'm not actually jumping around, but I be getting pumped up about this stuff, y'all. Like I'm so into the internet. I'm fully committed to earning money online. All right. I started in 2020, and my belief, y'all, is that we're going to get more users on the internet. We're going to have more devices connected to the internet, and people are going to continue to trust in the internet more and spend more money on the internet. My thought is that the internet is the largest country in the world. The primary language is English, and the primary currency is the US dollar. Okay? We get to access the largest country in the world using our language and using the US dollar as the currency of sale, right? So this allows us to make tons of money, y'all. I've sold my courses in like 15 different countries already while living outside the United States. You can do the same thing, right? Let's get back into it. So I'm not on script, bro, by the way. I get so excited because I want to see more of us get online, share our information, and make money online, right? What would an extra $1,000 do for you every month? What would $12,000 do for you every year, right? Let's not even get into big numbers, right? Let's not even get into big numbers. What would $1,000 extra do for you coming in from an online product or service that you make, right? What would that pay for? Would that pay for car insurance? Would that pay for, date night? Would that pay for, light bill, a mortgage, whatever? What would $2,000 do? What would $3,000 do, right? And what would happen if you started this year instead of waiting until next year? What would it look like after 5 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, right? More than likely, the internet's gonna be here for another 5 years. More than likely, the internet's gonna be here another 10, 15, 20 years, right? It's already been here over 20 years already. More likely it's gonna be here for longer. So it's up to us to get in now. 99% of people on the internet are consumers. I would say it's even less than 1% that are producers. And I want to tell y'all something else. And this is where it gets so exciting to me about this internet stuff, right? About this online business stuff. There are people that no one knows about that are doing millions of dollars a month. They're building out businesses that make millions of dollars a month, and they're not famous. Okay? There's a guy, Alexander Hormozi, some of y'all might have heard of him. He did $100 million in sales in one day. As we get further along this path on the internet, $100 million in one day, he won't be the only person who's done that. There'll be other people who've done it as well. Okay, making $1 million a month won't be that big of a deal in the years to come online. I did 50 grand a month. I'm not, as far as my friend group that make money online, I'm not the person who's made the most in 1 month. I remember when I was working at AT&T, I made $52,000 a year. I did my AT&T salary in 1 month. But I want y'all to understand is that you can start small and get big. Let me get back to this. I'll be getting pumped up, y'all. I get pumped up and then I get distracted and then I want to tell y'all all this other stuff, right? But back to systems, right? So mental model. So we talk about if this, then that. The next one I want to talk to y'all about is the 80-20 principle. Okay? The 80-20 principle. The 80-20 principle goes like this. 80% of your results come from 20% of the work or the input that you put into your system. Okay? So what does that mean in practice? So Andre introduced me as a guy who's always on vacation. And I'm telling y'all, I party a lot and I like to kick it and I like to go to the beach and I like to work out and all that stuff. Well, that's because I do the things that are effective in my business that make the money. I don't do anything else. I don't do anything else outside of that. Okay? I have identified the things that make me money in my business. All right? If I post social media content to the 60, 70,000 followers I have across social media platforms, I have a strong call to action. I show proof through testimonials of my students, and I do that regularly while having a high amount of views on my content. I'm going to make money. Okay? That means I need to post anywhere from 5 to 10 times a day across platforms. I do that. I don't have to do anything else. So it frees me up to do other things in my life. Okay? I'm not a 80-hour-a-week entrepreneur. All right? I probably work 10 to 15 hours a week any given week. All right? And that has allowed me to live the lifestyle I've lived for the last 7 years. All right? So what we want to do is we want to identify the 20%. Okay, and you're only able to do that. You will only be able to do that if you are taking action. Okay, I want to make that clear to everybody. If you just a entrepreneur, an aspiring entrepreneur, whatever you want to call that, if you're somebody who's just thinking about something, you cannot identify the 80%. All right, you cannot identify the 20% that you're doing. You can't identify the 20% of actions that are creating the 80% of your results. We only get that by taking large amounts of action and then reviewing it and cutting down what was not working for us. Okay, now I did that for years and I still do it now. All right, so what does that look like systematically? It looks like reviewing my analytics. Okay, it looks like reviewing analytics. Let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. This is my Twitter analytics. Okay, and I want to show y'all something. I'm really big on organic marketing, by the way. So here we are. So let's share this window right here. This is my Twitter analytics for the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna break this down to y'all. So here's my followers over time. This shows how many impressions I'm getting, so on and so forth. This number right here, 4.4 million impressions. This is the number I want y'all to focus on for this example. It's not about how many times I tweet or anything like that. In the last 2 weeks, 4.5 million people have seen my content. I know if I can get between 3 million and 5 million people to look at my Twitter page, I'm going to hit my income goals. All right, I'm going to hit anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 a month if I'm selling. Right, if I'm pushing my offer, I'm pushing an offer. If I'm getting these kind of impressions, 4.5 million here on Twitter, I'm going to hit my income goals. So I know my 80-20. I know my 80-20 formula, right? If this was down, if this was like, if I was doing like 200,000 impressions, I cannot expect to hit my income goal, right? Because again, I do organic marketing. I push organic marketing. I know some people do paid ads. Paid ads are awesome. I'm not speaking anything against that, but I think that for somebody who is starting out, the least amount of risk involved with the highest gain is going to be organic marketing, whether that's social, whether that's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, right? You want to have a high amount of impressions, okay? The more people that can see your content in general gives you a large amount of people who can buy your product, okay? Anybody got questions about that while I'm talking about this? Let me take this off. Anybody questions? Anybody, any questions about anything? I'm yapping, so y'all let me know. I'm gonna stop for like 2 seconds. Anybody got questions about anything I'm talking about? I hope I'm not confusing y'all or anything like that. I'm not being confusing, Emma. Everybody understands if this, then that, all right? Everybody understands 80-20? Let's say it a different way. The 80-20 Pareto principle. This is another math. I get a lot of stuff from math, by the way, guys. I get a lot of my mental modeling off from math or from mathematicians, all right? So if everybody understanding, we're all in agreement, and y'all don't have any questions, we're gonna get back into it, okay? So yeah, ITT, perfect. So this is the next thing. These are all really interesting things to me as I apply it to my business. Let's get out of Safari. Let me get back in here. All right, there we go. So let's get back into problem solving, okay? Because in business, y'all gonna be solving problems like all the time. And so there was a mathematician in the 40s. He made a method called How to Solve It. And it's a 4-step problem solving method. This is one thing I use. If it's something that's a little more technical than if this, then that, and it's like a problem that I don't know yet, like I can't figure it out. This is something I'm gonna share with you all. If y'all want to, y'all can write it down if you want to. But this is George Paglia, and this is his method. I didn't make this up. Okay, I'm not that smart. But this is something that you can use to hold on. Let me get my George Paglia pulled up. Great book, by the way. It is, again, it ain't sexy, but I'll tell you what, it has revolutionized my business. Okay, so let's share this screen real quick. I'm glad y'all picking up what I'm putting down. All right, I want y'all to write this down. If you're into this, write it down. That's why I'm sharing it. I wasn't trying to do a whole million persons, a million slides for y'all. But this is the 4-step problem-solving method that George Palia created. I use this in my business. One thing you want to do is you want to understand the problem. What is being asked of you? Okay. What are the unknowns? What information is given? Can you restate it in your own words? Can you draw a diagram? So let's look at that from like how we look at business. So what is being asked? What is the problem? All right. For a lot of us, specifically in the online space, is a big one is why are they not buying? Okay. That's the question. That's the problem. Why are people not buying from me? And then I'm gonna ask that with what are the unknowns? All right. I don't know how long they're watching my videos. I don't know how many people are, oops, I gotta take this off. I bet, yeah. So how many people are watching my stuff? Do they understand what I'm talking about? Am I marketing to the right people? These are all my unknowns. All right. Now, oops, I know what I had to do. I gotta put it back in here. My bad, Andre. Can I share the screen again? It says stop sharing. Okay, let's share this again. So I want to make sure y'all can write this down. I want to share this window. Yeah, that's what I want to share. All right. Y'all can see that now, right? Yeah, there we go. Y'all can see it now. All right, so what is being asked? What are the unknowns? What information is given? So my question is, what's being asked? Why are my customers not purchasing from me? Why aren't people buying from me? What are the unknowns? What is it that you do not know about this? Okay. Well, I don't know if this is getting to my target audience. I don't know if this is actually solving a problem. I don't know if my current customers are actually satisfied with this. What is the information that is given? Okay. If I'm selling online, I know when I'm posting the content, right? I know, I know what my offer is, right? We can keep going like that, right? Then can you restate it in your own words? So if you see the problem, why my customers not buying? Can I restate this in my own words? Can I explain this to myself? All right. And then can you draw a diagram? This is math, by the way, so you don't got to draw a diagram for that. But essentially, can you explain why your customers aren't buying from you? That allows you to understand the problem properly. One thing I think that for a lot of people, especially when Andre and Anthony and us were talking about a lot of people that we came in with to this online business space. A lot of them quit because they were devising a plan without properly understanding the problem. Now, this goes outside of online business, right? So many people do not properly understand the problem before they devise a plan, okay? Now, the question you have to ask as you devise your plan is, have I seen a similar problem before, okay? Look for patterns, work backwards, break the problem into smaller parts, introduce a variable, solve a simpler version first, use an analogy. All right, so what does it look like in our business? Look for patterns. Okay, have I seen a similar problem before? All right, when I first started my business, no one had ever purchased anything from me. Okay, so I had the same problem. My customers aren't buying my product. So what's the pattern? Well, all right, let's see. Am I marketing as much as I used to? Okay, that's my first question. I want to see. All right, because I made my analogy, so I'm using an analogy. When I first started my business, nobody was buying from me, and currently nobody's buying from me. So that's my analogy. My pattern when I first started my business was I wasn't promoting enough, and right now I need to find out, am I promoting enough in my business or not? Let's go look at my analytics. All right, yes or no? Okay, then let's work backwards from there. All right, so let's see if the answer is the pattern that I see in both of these analogies is I'm not promoting enough. Let's go find out why. Let's work backwards and find out why am I not promoting enough. All right. Hey, maybe I got lazy. Hey, maybe something happened in my personal life that's got me stressed out. Hey, maybe I haven't hired enough people yet or hired the right person yet. Maybe I'm not relying on AI enough. Right. Maybe my if this then that mental model is not working or I'm not applying it. Right. That's how we work backwards through these problems to get our strategy. Let's break the problem down into smaller parts. All right. I'm not promoting as much because, hey, I feel like the algorithm changed on Twitter. I don't know how to use Twitter anymore. Hey, I'm not using YouTube like I should because my camera broke, my iPhone broke, my kids got sick, whatever that is, right? Now I'm gonna break that problem in a smaller part. So I say, okay, well, I see that. I see the reasons, the small reasons why I'm not doing that. All right, well, what if I started using AI to create some of my content ideas? That's the introducing the variable part, right? Make sure y'all can see this. All right. All right. So look, so introducing what other variables can I create? All right. So if I use AI a bit, all right, what if I use a virtual assistant? What if I use my spouse? What if I use one of my kids? What if I use one of my homeboys, my homegirls to help me with this part of the business for a little bit so I can get back into promoting like I should? Then let's solve a simpler version. Now let's solve a simpler version of this problem. Hey, my customers aren't buying. Well, can I get one person to buy? Can I get one person to buy? What do I need to do to get one person to buy? Does it look like a discount? Does that look like I need to pick up the phone and start calling some people? Do I need to start DMing people? All right? This is where creativity lives. We can have creativity through structure. Are y'all feeling me?
Hold on.
Are y'all feeling me right now?
I got to.
What you got, Andre?
This boy good. Let me. That,
What's up, man?
that boy good. Type in the chat. That boy good. You are. This thing is on fire right now.
Yeah.
On fire. And
Y'all know-
you said something, Stephen, that people oftentimes they quit when they don't ask themselves this question, then they quit. How do I get one sale? I know the girl on Instagram has 200. I know the guy on YouTube has 50,000. Your friend has 10. But the one, just to get you back, first of all, the money, then the momentum. Such a huge deal. Thank you, brother. I'm out of here.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm glad you said that, Andre. I don't really teach this stuff, by the way, y'all. I'm doing this as a favor to Andre, okay? I've never taught Palia's 4-step problem-solving method to anybody. This is my personal stuff, okay? Everything I'm teaching y'all now is me. This is how I run me in my day-to-day, y'all. I have ADHD, and so it's very hard for me to focus on certain things. So I have to use a lot of systems day in, day out to keep me structured for 2-3 hours so I can do my job and do my business and then get back to living, right? So, all right, y'all, I love this stuff. So let's get back into it. So, all right, so we devised the plan. This is where creativity lives. Creativity lives in devising plans. But we cannot devise a plan until we understand the problem. I think y'all get this part. That's number 2. The second step, now we're going to carry out the plan. You got to execute it carefully. Check each step and stay organized. Now, we're going to take a step back now, okay? Because this is where a lot of entrepreneurs crap the bed. You get desperate, the bills are due, rent's due, baby need new shoes, all right? And then you begin to rush because you think you know everything, all right? So I'm here to tell you, you don't know nothing. If I was on my own StreamYard and I wasn't presenting on Andre's thing, I would be a little more potty mouth because I'll be cussing a lot. So, but you don't know nothing, all right? Act like it. Act like you don't know anything and stick to the plan, okay? You have solved for the problem. Now, here's our plan. Now we got to execute it carefully. What does carefully look like in our businesses? That means sticking to systems every single step of the way. And then that's what you got to do after you start to take action. Then you have to review, okay? So many people rush, but they don't review, right? You have to review what you just did, okay? Specifically when you're executing new plans. Execute carefully, all right? I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? There's a difference between urgency and desperation, all right? Desperation is selfishness attached to time, okay? Urgency is just a time problem. Hey, I need to get something done right quick. But desperation, no, I'm sorry, it's not desperation attached to time. Desperation is selfishness disguised as urgency, okay? When you're desperate as an entrepreneur and you're selling something, a product or service, you can't execute carefully because you're being selfish because you're like, I got to get this done, as opposed to I need to create value. You understand? So by executing carefully, we can focus on providing value to the marketplace, whether you're in an online business or not, okay? Check each step, review, If you got to review every night, that's what you got to do, okay? And you got to stay organized. Y'all, I have multiple journals. I keep my thoughts organized. I have 15 years of notes in my phone that I can pull on any business I've ran since 2011. All right, I have 15,000 notes in here probably. Yeah, some crazy in here, right? I have another 10 of these that I filled out. I keep my thoughts organized. Okay? I want to review my thought processes. These are my thought processes for 2018 and 2019. These are my thought processes from 2022 to 2024, right? These are my current thought processes. Guys, you must stay organized. Why? Because then you can go back, right? You can go back and you can, where I put it at? I can look for patterns. I can see my own mental patterns right here. Y'all, one thing I want y'all to understand about running a business is you against you every single day. If you're not tracking your own performance, and performance is not just dollars in, dollars out, it's your mental performance. How much sharper are you getting year in, year out? What problems have you solved and you put systems to? And what mental problems have you not solved for? Guys, I'm like, if you're not okay in your business, if you're not okay in your personal life, your business is not gonna be okay. I don't care how you think you can compartmentalize it, that's just the truth, okay? If you have a problem with anxiety, you have a problem with stress, if you have a problem with, your romantic life, your health, any of those things, if you haven't solved for that yet, it's gonna show up in your business, okay? And that's why we have to be organized, all right? We ain't talking about journals today, but I just want to share with y'all, all right? Because I have to continue to keep myself under control day in, day out so the business can grow. All right. So carry out the plan. Look back. I skipped ahead. I didn't tell you that part. Look back is a critical step. Does the answer make sense? Can you verify it another way? Can a solution be generalized? And what did you learn? And that's why I was showing you all those journals. What did you learn? My journals are there to tell me what I learned and all the problems I've looked back on, right? Can a solution be generalized? If the solution can be generalized, this is awesome because it can solve for other problems. This builds long-term intelligence instead of short-term correct. Man, look, let me stop for a second, man. This John be getting me pumped up. This is getting me pumped up. You got to solve for long-term correct. You got what I said. Let me say it again. You have to solve. This step builds long-term intelligence instead of short-term correctness. Come on now. It's okay. Like, yes, you need to be right, but we also need to avoid that problem again for the years down the road, right? Especially as we build a business. Okay, I'm telling y'all, I've seen so many people go up and down in business, and it's because they're not willing to commit to these types of things. All right, you have to commit to the discipline of systems. All right, it's not about waking up early in the morning, going to bed late, grinding your face off. It's not about that. It's about pulling the right levers. Right? Questions, comments, concerns. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? Brandon was here. What's happening, Brandon? Am I making it plain for everybody? Are y'all getting it? Y'all got any questions about anything? Okay. I remember. I'm gonna go back a couple steps. All right. What you got, Andre?
I got a question.
What's up?
Who do you work with, and how do we hire you? Because we need to work with you, dude. Like, is there a link or something? I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, I would say this, y'all. Hit me on Twitter. My focus, you can hit me on any of my social media platforms, but I would say my focus is dealing with people. I like dealing with beginners because I find that people who have experience. I'm really trying not to cuss, Andre, because I be wanting to cuss off the top of my head, but I ain't gonna cuss.
I curse, right?
Look, all right, I'll make it a little plainer. I feel like a lot of people who are in business, specifically, they had business for like a year or two, they got shit for brains. And so my problem is that they have so many bad habits that I have to fight against their bad habits. And so I like some business owners to work with, but I really enjoy working with new people, brand new people, because with brand new people, I can put in the right systems. They can come back to me with asking about the right system, and we can stay in on doing things the right way. day in, day out. That's why, like I told y'all, like when I was listening to Anthony, I'm like, yeah, I run my business the same way he run it. We run things very similarly in that regard because we're doing it the right way. And before I get into, standard operating procedure or anything, y'all look, hit me, shoot me a DM. Steve, I saw you on Born Business Summit. What's happening? I saw you on the replay. Hey, can we talk about it? I ain't trying to knock your head off on prices or anything like that. I want you to understand mental models. And if you can understand that, you can apply that to whatever business you got, right? I'm gonna keep going because I got a lot more to talk to y'all about. But I'm gonna take a step back before I get into standard operating procedures. Y'all, like, I've been in business now for 15 years. Okay, so I'm 37 now, I'll be 38. I got in business as a 22-year-old. This has allowed me to live a life that is so blessed. Like, I've been able to impact so many people. I've been able to live just like a dream of a life, and it was because of these types of things, right? I speak fluent Portuguese. Like, I live on a beach. I live on a cliff. Like, outside my kitchen window is the ocean right now. And it ain't talking about, like, there's not a building in front of my building. It's the ocean. I've shown Andre this before. If y'all follow me on social media, y'all see it. And it's because of this, right? I've had a driver. I had, full-time aide, full-time driver down here in Brazil, like, lived in all kind of penthouses everywhere and all that stuff. And it's like, if you can focus on this, if you can figure this out, then you can figure out the other parts of life. I didn't get into entrepreneurship I was not the guy who was like, oh man, I don't want to work for nobody else. No, that wasn't my goal. My goal was freedom. I wanted financial freedom, time freedom, and I wanted location freedom. All right. I want to live where I want to, do what I want with my time. I want to make enough money to do what I need to do day in, day out. And guys, if you can just stay disciplined, okay? The other part about business is, as we talk about these things, it's not that problems aren't going to arise, okay? It's not that problems won't arise. It's like, how do we go about solving them, okay? And then how do we go about solving them without disrupting the rest of our life, right? Entrepreneurship is hard enough as it is. It doesn't have to ruin our personal lives as well, okay? There's not a rule that says to make X amount of dollars, you have to work this much. You have to stress this much. You have to, there's not a rule for that, okay? These were my parameters. Let me give you another mental model for me. That's my mental model. If I cannot do it on here or on a laptop to earn money, I'm not doing it. That was the rule. That was my first parameter. I'll be talking about math a lot. And parameter is a nice little math word, right? If I can't do it on my cell phone, if I can't do it on my laptop, I'm not doing it for money, okay? Those are the rules, and that's what has kept me focused all these years. Have I always made a ton of money every year? No. But the other thing is you got to stay in it, okay? You're going to have up and down years, guys. Last year, my grandparents passed away, and they passed away within like 30 days of each other, right? And it kicked me in the teeth because I had experienced grief for the first time, right? Real grief. And I experienced that like living down here. And I kind of, took my hands off the wheel in the business. I think I told Andre this already, but like, it really hit me like a ton of bricks, to lose my grandparents. And thank God I own a business because it gave me the runway to get through that and be able to come back into it again, right? I didn't quit. I got a little ugly, but the business allowed me to keep going, right? Setting my life up the way I set it up as far as geo arbitrage, time and location freedom allowed me to get through that grieving process, still have a home, still be able to pay, feed myself, all that stuff, still be able to, do what I need to do, right? And it's like, that is one of the benefits that we have of running our own business, right? Because like, I'm telling y'all, if I experienced that while working a job, they would just fire me, for not being able to produce at a high level, right? So, quick little personal thing about me, right? I would love to hear about living abroad. I would love to hear more about living abroad. Real quick, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. I don't see why more people don't do it. I don't see why more black folks don't do it. There's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of people I thought would do this that have never done it. It's like I said, it's been 7 years for me. I left the United States 8 years ago. So like, I left in 2018. I didn't wait for things to get bad with the pandemic. I didn't wait to, for all these people to, influence me to do it. I just did it, right? And I think I took that same kind of concept in business, right? It's like, just do it. I didn't even think about it being scary. I didn't think about like all the logistics of it. I just went and did it, and then I just started living. I just started living my life, and it's been just such a blessing. Anyway, back to the subject, right? We're talking about business. We're talking about some business, all right? SOPs, standard operating procedures. Sometimes it's just a short checklist, right? Once something is repeatable, writing it down does two things. It removes the need to rethink the task every time, and it makes the business more scalable. Okay, so standard operating procedures. All right, so let's go over a couple things that you're gonna need a standard operating procedure on. How many times do you expect to get paid in your business? More than once, yes or no? All right, yes, you expect to get paid more than one time. So you probably need a standard operating procedure around accepting payment, okay? You need a full operating procedure around accepting payment, whether it's sending an invoice, sending receipts, what's your refund policy look like? What's your refund policy have 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, right? Those are 7 different operating procedures right now, just off the top of my head. That's just on getting payment. How do you ask for payment, right? How do you ask payment for early payment, late payment? How do you follow up when it's on collections, right? If you have a service that's expensive that you need to do collections on. We're at what, eight standard operating procedures. Y'all, if you do it more than one time ever, write it down. Write down how you want it done. And it's not because you need to remember it. It's because your employees need to remember it. Whatever large language model AI you're using needs to remember it, right? How do I go about writing emails? I write emails in my business, all right? So I have a set of things I talk about and things I don't talk about, right? You got to have that written down. Like, you need to have a redundant business in that regard, right? Things have to be redundant. Make it plain for yourself because, again, sometimes you'll go through grief. Sometimes you'll go through a child being born. Sometimes you'll go through a divorce. Sometimes you're going to go through, a health scare or whatever. Or you go on a long-term vacation. You have to put these things in place and make it super clear and redundant as far as your standard operating procedures. So it's so easy somebody else can do it who's never touched your business, right? Whether it might be a grown child, a mom, a dad, a friend, right? A virtual assistant that pops in for a little bit for you, right? Do not make yourself a bottleneck when it comes to operations, all right? I'll give you all a story. My father, he had a heart attack back in 2016. It was January 2016. He has a heart attack. Thank God I was in the business with him. He said, son, I need you to go do this, and that. While he was in the hospital, thank God he got out. He was in ICU for a bit, but he's still alive and he's doing great. But in that time, that month that he's in ICU, I'm running back and forth to the office and doing the things he's told me because we went over standard operating procedures already. Okay? So here's my question. If you were in a hospital for a month, would your business be able to be ran by somebody else right now? It's rhetorical, by the way. The answer is no. You need to tighten up. You get your SOPs right. Get your if this, then that statements right. Learn your 80-20. What are the 80% of results that come from 20% of the actions? All right, y'all, this shit's serious, okay? Because the longer we are in business, the more life happens to our business, right? Okay, we got 80%. All right, software infrastructure. Guys, I'm not gonna go too deep in this because I don't know what all y'all's businesses are. I don't know where you want to run your online business from, whether it's Kajabi, Teachable, Gumroad, so on and so forth, all right? But on the online business side of this thing, you're gonna have to have a place where your content is hosted at. You're gonna have to have a place where you can take in income and provide refunds, and where you can email people from, right? Gumroad for me fits all those. Some people like Gumroad, some people don't. I'm a top creator there. I've been one of the top creators there for some years now. It's a platform with tens of thousands of people on there, and I'm a bit of a big dog over there. I'm a bit of a big deal. But the main thing is, whatever platform you're using, you need to get good at it before you start getting a lot of students, because it can get quite overwhelming, okay? So go over there. Guys, it's not about being computer savvy or any of that. You need to know it because it's part of your business. If you're going to be in this space of online business, selling info products, okay, you need to know your softwares, all right? You need to know, for example, Gumroad. Again, this ain't no Gumroad day to day, so I'm not gonna just break down all the intricacies of Gumroad. But for the general idea of it is that we have to stay locked in on our software systems. I don't care if you've made $1 yet on your courses, you need to know your stuff, okay? Because I'm telling y'all, it get real awkward when somebody start asking you questions, you don't know the answer to it in regards to a refund, in regards to they don't know how they bought the course and they don't know how to get into it. It can get ugly for you, all right? I have seen more people get slandered as frauds and scammers, not because they had ill intentions, but because they didn't know their shit. They didn't know what they were doing. And so they got tarred and feathered as a freaking scammer, and they weren't. They just didn't know their stuff, okay? That's what I want to prepare y'all for. Y'all got to, if you can stay tight up here and stay tight in this stuff, this infrastructure stuff, this system stuff, you can make some money. And not only can you make some money, you can hold your head high, right? Let me give y'all some stories real quick. Like I told y'all, I've been living in Brazil for 7 years now. I had never met a student of mine until year 2 or 3 of me selling, because I live off the continent, right? I don't live in America. So like, I don't run into nobody who buy my stuff. So I didn't know that people even knew me. Right? I just did not know that. I just thought like, you know, I make my videos, I sell, I do this and that, and I put it down, and all Americans go away when I put my phone down, right? And I go back to being here in Brazil and speaking Portuguese, right? So I get to Atlanta. Matter of fact, this was last year. No, I'm sorry, it's 2024. I had to fly back in from Brazil for a contract. Fly in, and I get a message. I'm on a bus. It's like midnight. I'm riding the bus from Atlanta to Mobile. It's not a flight from Atlanta to Mobile, by the way. So at midnight, I got to ride down, and somebody sends me a message on TikTok. It said, "Steven, are you on this bus?" I said, "What the world? Hold on. How did somebody know it was me? Like, how could you recognize me at midnight? Like, I'm not looking for somebody like that, right?" So I kind of brushed it off. I get off the bus, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm in Mobile. So I'm still an independent adjuster, by the way. So I'm still in the insurance business. And I was a manager at that time, handling claims for a hurricane. And so I walk in the gas station, 6 o'clock in the morning. "Hey, Steve, what's up, bro? How you doing?" I don't live in Mobile, by the way. So like, it's the second person that's recognized me. I'm like, "Yo, what in the world? Hey, what's up, bro?" And I get to the building, right, where I'm working at. And it's all these floors of insurance adjusters, so on and so forth. Everybody knew me. Everybody, "Hey, I seen your video. Yo, you Steve, what's up, man? Yo, blah, blah." And the reason I'm telling you is because I didn't have to be scared that somebody was going to say I ripped them off. I didn't have to be scared that somebody said that, "Hey, man, your course wasn't worth nothing. Hey, man, I gave you all this money and nothing, and I never got a job." I got greeted with daps and hugs because I treated my customers like something. Because I had systems in place to do what I needed to do, because I spoke highly of people, right? I'm telling you that for a reason, because there's a lot of people. I got friends personally that can't show their face online no more because they're not doing this stuff I'm teaching y'all. Okay, they're not issuing refunds. You know, I tell people, you know, no refunds. I'll be giving refunds. All right, I've probably given 25 refunds in like 5,200 sales. I don't know what that refund rate is, but usually if somebody asks me for a refund, they're adamant about it. Here you go, you can have the money back, whatever. All right. But I didn't have to look over my shoulder. All right. I never have to look over my shoulder, because I know I did my best and I treat people well if they spend some money with me. Even people don't spend money with me, I answer their questions. I try to be very helpful to them, right? All right. So to get back into it, I think I probably skipped ahead a bit. I probably skipped into my customer service section of this. I'm not trying to get too deep into software infrastructure. Social media is a data engine. This is super important. This is like the most important thing ever. I want y'all to, let me calm myself down, because this shit be getting me pumped up. Social media is a data engine. What does that mean? I have been talking to people for the better part of 15 years online. I've been selling online for the last 6 years. And in that time, one thing that has stood out to me is how many people are confident that their course is good, and they haven't asked nobody if it's good or not. And not only that, they haven't even asked their target market. They haven't done any research on their target market. They haven't reviewed any data, okay? And then they wonder why their courses flop, okay? They don't know why, all right? Let me see what I got right here. 5 more minutes, okay, shit, I gotta hurry up. My bad, y'all, let me speed up. I'm over here yapping. I be getting pumped up. Let me speed this up. Social media is a data engine. Real quick. So social media is a data engine. One thing. So Social media is a data engine plus product iteration through customer feedback. What we're going to do as we create our businesses, we're going to research first. Stop being creative in this situation when it's time to create, when it's time to make a course. You're going to go to Reddit, you're going to go to TikTok comment section, YouTube comment section, Instagram comment section, and Twitter threads. I want you all to see the problems your target market is complaining about and create your course around that. Create a product or service around that, okay? You want to get as much of that as you possibly can. If you can do that, you're going to have a good product, okay? Next thing is, and again, I got to shorten this up, y'all, because I've been yapping. The next thing is, as you produce and iterate your courses, the fun thing about online products and digital products is you can continue to fix it after you create it for the first time, right? So listen to people, keep an open mind, take your ego out, and listen to your customers and ask them, hey, what do you like about this? What don't you like about it? What can I add? And you can continue to add things to it, right? So that's something I love about this online business space, and I've used this in all my products, and it's helped me so much. Guys, I've talked about customer service. Anthony talked about it as well. If somebody hits you up, hit him back ASAP, okay? Hit him back quick as you can, because it goes a long way, right? People do not like being ignored. Even if you're giving them bad news, give it to them quickly. Stop dragging ass, all right? I'm gonna leave the rest of the time for questions and comments, because I ain't yapping. I hope, did y'all like this? Was it worth it? Was it worth sitting through this? Did I make this interesting, these systems? Do y'all feel like y'all got something from this? Hope y'all got some notes, all right? Let me know.
Damn. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
That boy good.
I do good.
Yeah,
I did all right, Andre.
That boy good. Can we give a virtual round of applause for our boy Steven Story? That was phenomenal.
Thanks, y'all.
Type in the chat your biggest takeaways. If you have an online community, you say you like to work with people brand new. Do you work with people who have existing communities as well?
I do.
You do.
I do, and I will. But if y'all notice, I'm kind of hard charging, so I ain't trying to hear all that about what you done did in the past. Like, if you coming over here, we're gonna do it this way. So, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm enthusiastic because it's worked. It changed my life, and it's fun. Thank you.
I'm gonna give you my biggest takeaway, Steven, is have SOPs for when life goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because it will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll get tired. Somebody will get sick. You might get sick. Mm-hmm. I'm here drinking this blood pressure tea right here because I have to. It's organic tea. Life will happen, and we have an ego that we think it will never happen to us. We'll never get sick. I'll always have my body. I'll always have my mind. You won't. No. You need to be able to shift it over to a VA assistant, your wife, your husband, somebody say, hey, go run this. All right. Check, give me half the money. See you on the days. So, Steven, we appreciate you. The link will be below. I already put it in the chat. Follow him on IG. Tell him you want to work with him. Pay him whatever he tells you to pay him. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Andre, I'll holler at you, man. I'm hit you tonight, all right?
You're my man. Appreciate you, Ben. Hit me later.
Peace.
All right. Shout out to my man, Steven Story. That was phenomenal. Now I need a favor. First of all, everybody get up. Everybody get up. Been here 2.5 hours. Shake off the rust. Do some push-ups. Let's keep it going. But I need a favor. So we were able to keep this free, but people still, we would still like to be able to contribute to people who helped us. If you are learning, and if you have any form of disposable income, just ask it for a favor, just to help us pay some people who are making it flow. They volunteered, but we want to show them love. Show love here at this link. That's 1. 2 and 3, we did have 2. We had 2 sponsors who put up some bread. I want you to follow them, tell them thank you, say, hey, thanks for holding down the event. I'm a believer in fair exchange, no robbery. You give people something good, you then see if they feel like contributing to the cost, right? Fair exchange, no robbery. The links are going to be in the chat. We have our next speaker here. She is a phenomenal lady doing major things in the metro Atlanta area. Let's bring her up. The Care Girl, Alexandra. How are you, Queen?
What's up? I am well. I am well. I am actually at my break at work today. So
Okay.
so I was able to hop on and talk to you. Can you hear me good?
We hear you loud and clear. We thank you for your time. You are the Care Girl. Why do we call you the Care Girl?
So I've been in the home care industry for about over a decade, and doctors call me for care, elderly, adult children of elderly parents call me for care. Surgeons call me for care. So I just was like, let me just be called the care girl. Let me just go ahead. I was at an event one day and everybody was writing their names down, and I was like, I'm just gonna put something. Let me just put the care girl on my thing, and instead of my name, so it could be a conversation piece. So when I did that, people were just like, "What's the care girl?" And then I was able to actually have the conversation on what I do versus like I'm just writing my name down. I'm all about like having a good time with it. And then I also have the Care Girl podcast where I interview healthcare founders and I talk about Asian care, and that's kind of like my platform. So
We love it. Very simple, very easy to digest, and I will drop the links below. All right. So, how do you make money outside of your 9 to 5 or whatever hours you work out?
So right now I have about 5 shifts going. So I have about 4 elderly care shifts going, and I have one surgery patient. So basically, I'll get an order from a doctor's office, or I'll get a call from an adult child or someone that needs care, and I am basically the care matchmaker. So I find a nurse.
Hold on. Have you bought that domain name yet? Because that domain name is fire. You got to buy
I
it.
haven't.
Okay, go after we're done here. Go buy. Okay, the care matchmaker. So if someone needs care for their mother, aunt, grandfather, etc., they call you and you middleman. You Airbnb, you Uber,
Yep.
the nurse, the healthcare aide,
Home health aide.
home health
Yep.
aide to the person. Damn, that's
Yes, I
good.
do. Yes, I do. Like right now at work, like my VA is on my calls right now, but the shifts are going. I'm still able to do my job, work my job, and I have other people working for me while I simultaneously am working at the same time. So yeah, care
Okay.
matchmaker. That's what I said. That's what I do. That's what I do. I've been doing it over 10 years. The Care Girl Agency is the name of the agency. And I love it. I mean, I think I'll always have a home care bag, like literally. You know me, Andre.
I do. So you're perfect for what you do. So some people do things that are outside of them, and it's not a wrong thing, but this is totally who you are, and you exude this. Now, I like how you've been able to make major money in healthcare, but you don't have a bachelor's degree yet. But
No, I'm
have you still been
actually
able to make?
I'm back in school.
You are.
Um,
Yep.
because I wanted to be able to be a high level consultant in the field.
Mm,
Um, so if there's a lot of little different intricacies. Me actually having my RN is going to I'll be a billionaire nurse. I won't ever be at the bedside, but I just the accolades just having it, I'll be able to sign my own paperwork and everything. So that'll be in about 2 years. So in the hospital that I work at, they pay for the degree. So that's why I'm
Oh
here.
shoot! Oh, that's fine. I didn't know that. And you've been able to do these things. So I love that you've been able to do these things without having a degree yet. It just shows you that there are ways to get to the bread if you are innovative enough. Now, what kind of money can somebody make coordinating and middlemaning or middlewoman these services?
Okay, so let's get back to the degree part. So I do have a degree, but it's not a nurse. So I did go to school for healthcare. So you want to kind of have some kind of healthcare
Yeah.
background because
Okay.
I seen a lot of people that don't have the healthcare background, and then they don't do well at this. So you have to have a heart for it. You actually have to care about patients and people, because a lot of people get in and they see like the money potential, but the people part is what is missing. So I wanted to kind of clear that up first, so you can know, like, you have to have a business mind, and then you need a medical person, because you'll have to have a registered
Mm,
nurse that's over your patients and that's over your training.
that's good. Okay, gotcha. Now, income potential for somebody in your industry.
So I sent you some screenshots the other day of a contract that I had signed.
I don't, you know, if somebody's my friend, I
No,
tend to give you.
no, I'm telling you so you can remember, and I'm gonna
I
tell you what's
remember.
on it. So
I remember. Yeah.
I sent. So the amount of money is endless in home care, and what I love about it is that you don't need a bunch of clients to make great money. You can
Yep.
have 10 patients and you're at 50K, 100K a month. You know,
Ooh.
easy, right? Of course, and I have a co-work space. I don't have an office. Um, Basically, my employees come and they'll sign up and all that. They don't know what I got going on. They come in, they sign in with this receptionist, we workspace, and I don't have a high overhead at all. So let's talk about this long-term care client that I had. So basically, they have long-term care insurance, and when people have long-term care insurance, usually they have the money to pay for care. So this
Mm,
patient is getting 40 hours a week at
damn.
$40 an hour. My caregiver is making $20 an hour. So I profit the other $20 an hour.
So you probably $20 an hour from you managing uh, the
The case.
experience and you finding the people.
Yes. Yep. And so this person is getting 40 hours a week until they pass away. And this patient has cancer. He still probably has about 5 years left in him because it's maybe stage 2. Um, but he tapped into his long-term care. So basically they pay us monthly. They pay us monthly, and every 2 weeks the caregiver gets paid.
Mm, that's phenomenal. And you don't have to go to the bedside yourself.
I do not have to go to the bedside. I don't even have to sign the patient up. My nurse goes out, signs the patients up. I have a digital system where they can sign everything digitally. Now, since there's no COVID and all that, I am shaking hands and kissing babies. I am going out and I'm talking to the patients, making sure that they are good, making sure that we create the plan for them, because I am a small niche company,
Hmm.
and a lot of companies are just sending the people and they're not communicating effectively. So for me, the way my brand is set up, I want people to really know, like, we do care about you.
Uh, that's phenomenal. You also have another. Is CPR considered healthcare?
Yes, CPR. We ain't finished with the money yet.
Okay, my bad.
You moving past it.
My
Okay,
bad.
it's so many layers. So we do nursing care as well. So we do wound care. I actually work with a personal injury attorney. So when somebody's injured in an
Oh,
accident, they call me when they have like brain surgery, spine surgery, knee, hip injury, anything like that, surgery. And we do the visits in the home. So I send the nurse to them and they pay us, and I get about $750 per visit, and the nurse makes about 150 per visit. And the surgeon usually orders about 6 visits every patient they send us. So those are one-time patients. I have one or two times I've had like big truck accidents, and it's like ongoing care, and those invoices easily, I mean, can be like 10K a month.
so $750 the law firm pays you, and you pay the nurse $150. So you probably $600, give or take.
So yeah, $600. So 600 times six, because it's 6 visits.
6, 12, 18, 24, 3,000, 3,600. Damn, yeah, that's fire. That is
Yeah,
fire. Damn, there's so
yeah.
many ways to make money out here.
It's so
Whew.
many, ways. And then we'll get into the CPR. So another layer is, let's say that patient, is almost burning down the house, right? They're eloping. They have dementia. If anybody's familiar with dementia, Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
that means that patient cannot be left alone. So let's say you are a working mom and you can't take care of your mom. So
Mm.
people call me to basically place them into a assisted living or memory care, and I have relationships and contracts with those assisted livings. And this is the bonus, y'all. With those assisted livings and personal care homes, and I basically that's why I said care matchmaker, whatever type of care it is, and basically whatever the rent is when that person moves in. If it's 6,500 for that person to move in, they pay me 6,500 in 30 days when they move in.
That's phenomenal. Uh,
Yeah.
so your best skill set, I guess, is finding talent and finding clients.
Yes. Well, my my best talent is fulfilling the need of what
Mm,
they need.
gotcha.
You know, I've even helped I do care transitions. So this one lady was her visits were up at the nursing home. Her son stayed in Washington D.C. He called me and he was like, "Hey, we need someone who can help transition my mom into a personal care home and put her on hospice. I have a hospice
Mm,
company that I have a contract with. They give me 1,000 per patient that I put on hospice, and then the personal care home is gonna pay me the fee for them to move in 4,000. So those two relationships I monetize, and hospice they're making 5K to 10K a month off their patients. So giving me the 1K is nothing. Their personal care home is making 4K to 5K a month. Giving me that one time fee of
okay.
5K is nothing. And then the parent and the adult child paid me 500 just to officially help with the move and go and sign and advocate for his mom.
That's phenomenal. How do people find you? Or how do you find them?
TheCareGirl.com is my main website, but I'm on YouTube now. I do a lot of agent care videos. I'm on Threads. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm everywhere.
Okay.
So I get DMs. I get DMs, I get responses. I have a newsletter. I get comments on YouTube. I'm on Google. We have a 5-star rating on Google.
Wow.
So very, very, very big on reputation. Very, very big on if there's a service failure, fixing the problem.
Who's your ideal client?
My ideal client is the adult child of the Asian parent, because that person is the professional who can pay for the care, or they have prepared their father's finances for care. So it's primarily the adult child that calls me,
Mm,
or the wife or the
okay.
husband of the person that is needing the care.
Okay. Do
And
you take
they're about, they probably like together they make about 150 to 200K. Retired, pension. Um, we're private pay. We don't take any insurance. We don't do Medicaid. And you could do Medicaid, but that's a low margin. I want to be able to pay my caregivers way above minimum wage. So we do private care.
you do private care? Okay. Shout
Yeah.
out to the private care. Uh, you you manage all this while you having a job. How do you find the juggle?
I work on the weekends and I run the company during the week.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Um,
But I just started working. Andre, I was doing home care full time, and like I said, they pay for my school, and then it's 80K a year, so hey, can't beat extra money. And I just
leverage
pour
every
that money. I just pour that money into what I do. It's not hard. I'm in the lab, so
leverage every avenue you have to expand your income in business. Now, the next question is okay. So another leg you have, or maybe call it a stream or a niche, is CPR training. What does that
mhm.
look like, and what's the income potential profits from that?
Bonus. Look, he didn't tell me we was doing all. Listen. He's trying to get me to get all the tea today. Okay.
All the tea, yeah, yeah, spice it
All the
up.
tea today. So I have a contract with an assisted living, and I've been doing CPR for like 5 years, over 5 years, and I love it because it's same day money, and it takes about
Hold
two
on,
hours to train.
slow that down. You get so like if you do a training, I think it's like up to 12 people you could train at a time, right?
Yes,
Okay, so up to 12 people, you get paid that same day.
same day.
That's
I
fire.
can train
Okay.
more than 12 people. They just have to be split up.
Okay, gotcha. All
Yeah,
right.
so I had 18 people at this. Well, I didn't even know I had 18 people because I this is my regular place that I have a contract at. So I just go in monthly. So I walked into the auditorium and I'm like, how many people today? Usually I have like 8 people, 5 people. It was 18 people. So I left, and it was 85 per person. So do the math on it. Oh, I can't hear you.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah,
All
yes,
right. 85 times 18. How long were you there for?
2 hours.
Damn. All right. Let's do this. 85 times 18 is $1,530. And all of that was profit, or you had to pay anybody out of that?
So the cars are $8 a piece. So 18 times 8.
Okay. All
That's
right.
it. And then take that out of the total.
All right. Let's call it $1,300.
hmm
$1,300 for 2 hours. That's a win. That's that's how often do you do those trainings?
I do two. I do two big classes a week. I only do two days. Because I'm training instructors now too. So when I train an instructor, I just went up on my instructor price. My profit is 500.
Okay, so you train instructors who are going to teach it, and you train employees who need it for their job. Which one do you prefer more?
For me, I prefer the instructors because it's easy. It's easier. It's one-on-one. Or I could do 5 people and profit 500 each. But if I do big classes like those 18, if I do 18 a week, I'm good with that. I'm not greedy.
It's all about keeping the client happy and keeping them for as long as possible. Just keep it flowing. Keep it flowing. With
And
your
my mom is an instructor, and I have two other instructors. When I can't do a class, I give them a fee to do the class.
oh, so you can eat either way.
I don't do. I mean, sometimes I don't want to do anything, and I'm just like literally like, hey, can you go teach my class? And I just give them $150 and.
And do you? You're in Georgia. Can you only do classes in Georgia, or can you do them other places as well?
I've traveled. I used to travel and I've been to Nashville. I went to Savannah, Georgia. I've been to North Carolina. I can teach anywhere in the U.S. I can train anybody in the U.S. to be an instructor as well.
How much does it cost for the startup cost to get started in that business?
So with your dummies and everything, you're looking at and then with my training included, you're looking at about less than 2,000.
Less than $2,000, you can make that money back with a couple of gigs. That's a no-brainer. That
No,
is
I made my money back. I literally made my money back. The first week I got my CPR instructor, I did 2 babysitters and their whole entire family. Went to their house, really cozy, made my
wow.
money back. They gave me a tip,
It kept it pushing.
kept it pushing.
I love this.
I
Do
made
you,
$800 in with my first training.
it was a wrap after
And I
that.
just I just posted on Nextdoor app. Hey, anybody needs a CPR training?
There we go. And
I had a school call me the other day, and I'm thinking the lady was like, "Oh, we have 10 people." I'm like, "Cool," but then her boss got on the phone. He said, "We actually need a new contractor. Can you do 100 people?"
whoa.
Send us the quote.
So if
I
we
said at one
100.
time he was like, "No, it's like a couple of different schools." So like that's what I'm going for this year, just more contracts, and then I'm just going to the people that I train. I'm gonna let y'all eat, and then I'm just gonna get my portion.
So it would be the 100 times the 85 or so again.
Yep,
Yeah, you win it.
yeah, almost
You
10K. That'll be boxing.
you are winning.
Yeah.
Do you coach people on how to get started in these businesses and these niches? Do you do in-person training? Do you have a
I'll do
community?
it for people that come through Andre. I'm retired.
You retired from coaching?
Like I literally like I'll do it for your people. I'll
Okay.
do it for your people. I have teams. I have other coaches that I collaborate with as well. So like a person that if somebody wants home care, they help with the licensing. And then with the CPR, I definitely can do the coaching. But if they come through Andre, I'll do it. If
All
you
right.
come randomly, probably not.
Okay. Okay. You got to know
I just
when.
came to share the knowledge because I know it's a lot of people in the healthcare space that don't really know like it's extra money in here. And always open to dropping knowledge and blessing someone.
I appreciate the game, Alexandra. Your Instagram page is
Underscore.
the care girl underscore. Any last words you want to drop on our people today, ma'am?
I would say, whatever you do it after your own purpose, and always put God first. Don't do it just to say you're gonna make some money. If it's all about the money, that's not it. Always have a purpose in mind. Always have a goal in mind, and serve first. Always serve.
We appreciate it. Alexandra, the Career Girl, thank you, man. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. Woo! Man, this day keeps on getting better and better. So here's what I like about the Boring Business Summit, and not just because I helped put it together. You are literally getting ways to make bread, serious money for under $2,000. $300 startup cost, $500 startup cost, $2,000 startup cost, where you can make serious bread, damn near lawyer money, damn near doctor money for some of these industries. And all you got to do is act. You just have to pick which lane you're going to go all in on and act. Brandy, I don't know if you're watching. I don't know if you're ready. If you want to hop up, you can hop up, ma'am. But what have you guys learned today? What stood out to you guys? Oh, yeah. I want to shout out to people who showed love to support YouTube demonetized us. So anyone who shows love, we appreciate it. So we had someone send in 20, someone send in 35, someone send in 45. We appreciate the love. Thank you for that. It's going to go help support the team. We're going to blow this puppy up. Here's the biggest takeaways from what I've seen. There's more than enough money. You just have to go all in. No one talked about saturation. No one talked about fear of competition. No one talked about any of these. Trying to get this light right. No one talked about any of these things that could potentially scare people away. It's all about you going all in on your industry, mastering your craft, and running your business locally, running it out the country. 5K a month, 10K a month, 100K. These numbers are all real when you go all in. The only things holding us back are ourselves. There is no such thing as there's nothing holding you back. Once your belief system and focus expands, it's up. Once your belief system and focus expands, it is up. If you're free, hop up real quick. The Boring Business Summit, we're gonna rock this puppy out. We have one and a half more speakers. Then we're gonna close it out. The last speaker is actually a sponsor as well, and she owns a junk removal business. It does not get any more boring business related than having a junk removal business. That is king of the overlooked. Is this a real thing? Think about this. A house gets rehabbed, you need a junk removal company. Someone's moving, you need a junk removal company. Someone's moving out, you need a junk removal company. Someone is gutting a house. Somebody is keeping their house, but they're getting new furniture. You need a junk removal company. You need a junk removal company damn near in probably 70% of real estate conversion. New construction, you need a junk removal company. So she will be our closeout. And tomorrow we're on at 10 a.m. We're on at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. The person setting it up is my man Royal. Royal, phenomenal entrepreneur. He is a franchisee, meaning he owns an AnyLab franchise. So also in that healthcare-ish kind of world, owns a franchise, bought it via seller financing. I'll let him tell all the details tomorrow. I actually helped him walk through the deal. And that deal keeps on getting better and better now that we revisit it. And he's only had the company maybe 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. I'm telling you, making doctor money without having a degree or in a hospital for 80 hours a week is absolutely possible. Making lawyer money without going to law school and doing an internship is absolutely possible. It's just who's going to be bold enough to go after it. Who's going to be bold enough to go all in on the thing? Who's going to make this thing pop? Someone's going to do it. And I want to show you guys some numbers. So I made almost 300,000, and I'm going to go over this on Sunday. But I made almost $300,000 with one of my online businesses, and this is damn near 80% passive, 75% passive income. And I'm going to show you guys something. I want you to get in the habit of, one, going all in, and two, realizing you don't need a bunch of things to make serious money. You have to do the things that you do really well. Type in the chat, do what you do really well. I'll say it again, do what you do really well. So this is it here, share this tab. So this is one of my online products. It has 994 sales, $126,000 in profits over the past 7 years. So that's almost 1,000 sales, $126,000. It's one training, and it's 14 hours on how to get your notary business started. 14 hours. So I averaged it out. That's about $9,000 an hour. Now, it did take more hours for me to market it, but this is one thing. So if you're ever thinking about, man, I got to do mad things, fam, you got to sit down and focus. Sit down and don't do anything else. Focus till you start making some bread. Now, special guest, the stupendous Lockspreneur, the great Brandy Walker. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Fun day. Thank you for all you did to put this event together. Tell the people who you are, man.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I've been busy today, but checking in and out on some of the workshops and presentations, and it's been great. My name is Brandy Nicole Walker. I am a personal brand strategist, podcaster, entrepreneur, and what I specialize in is helping people build a personal brand strategy that helps them get income, impact, and influence.
Woo. Give me 3 things great branders get right. I don't know if brand is the word. And 3 things that they get wrong.
3 things they get right. They master their story.
Ooh.
They tell it frequently, and they do so with confidence.
Damn, that's good.
3 things that they get wrong. They talk too much about too many things. They don't know who they're talking to. And 3, they're inconsistent.
Whew. There we have it. There you have it. Then, all right. So which I'm co-signing her, master brander, brandologist, brand strategist, master brand strategist,
right.
Knows what to look for.
I like brandologist.
Brandologist is hard, right?
Let's do it.
Master brandologist, grab that domain name. Master brandologist. And here's the thing about people in their companies. Tell me if you see this too, Brandy. People in their companies literally treat it like their children, because it kind of is in a way. But it backfires, because the same way that you can't see when your kid is bad, you can't see when your branding's bad.
Yeah.
Or you just don't want to admit it, that you have a bad kid.
Both are true.
How do we overcome the ego portion to get help from somebody like you?
So I think before you reach out to get help, you have to be intent on building a relationship with whatever audience you're trying to build with.
Damn, that's good.
Your audience will tell you. So back in the day, I used to make soap. And I made, I was looking at what other people were making, which I don't suggest. And I was like, I'm going to make 18 different kinds of soap.
Okay.
Customers were only buying 3. I was making 18 kind because I'm like, I got to have something for everybody coming in. And people would tell me, oh, I really like natural soap. Do you have a lavender? Nope. Let me go make a lavender. Oh, do you have a this? Okay, let me go make it that. And I was at a vendor event and somebody said to me, you are going to drive yourself crazy trying to do everything that someone tells you. Only take advice from paying customers.
Some people are paying you.
And you can even say, like, maybe you're in a position where you're not charging for anything. If that person does not follow you, they haven't joined your community, they're not engaging with your content, do not listen. Because the people who know best about where your business should go and what you should be doing are people who have direct experience with your business. It's why I often don't take referrals from people that have not worked with me directly. Because you're just telling somebody, oh, she does marketing. But the way that I do branding and marketing is very different from if you just Google somebody who does it, right? I do it completely differently, and we may not be a good fit. They may not like my attitude, which that happens sometimes. I am not everybody's vibe. So I only take referrals from people who have worked with me directly to say, this is how I work with Brandy. This is how she works. And this is what I think. This is, they'll bring people who are like them. So I don't have to go out and try to find my audience. They won't send me somebody crazy because they're like, I work with Brandy. She's not going to deal with that. Oh, they showed up late. Oh yeah, she's not going to do that. Right. So they already know. So I think even before, if you're not, if you're on Instagram, if you're not surveying people in your stories, when somebody comments, if you're not replying back, starting a conversation, if you don't take it upon yourself to DM people periodically who follow you, like, hey, I just noticed that you were following me. What brought you here? Simple things like that.
Yeah,
that lets me know, like, I'm always trying. I don't have a form where I'm like checking demographics, but I'll even like, how did you find me? Oh, from YouTube. Okay. Oh, from that podcast that I was on. So I know what makes sense. Oh, people are finding me on YouTube. Then maybe let me stop playing on TikTok and get on YouTube, right? Let me stop, hiding in the house and actually go to that event because these people actually follow me and they're connected with me and they're locked in. You have to be surveying your people. Now, once you do that, if you don't know what to do with that information, then you hire somebody.
That's good. Your packages, what does it usually cost to work with you?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Your packages, how much does it typically cost to work with you?
Yeah, so everybody starts with me from the same point, which is a brand audit.
Okay.
I do branding strategy, design, and execution. But we don't get to the design and execution until we audit first. Because often you're a business owner, like you're talking about not seeing blind spots. People will come to me and say, I need this or I need a logo. And you have nothing behind that logo. You don't know, you don't have brand values, you don't have standards, you don't actually have a business model. So we need to audit your brand first. So everyone starts with a brand audit, and a brand audit starts at just $1,000. So just, you come in and you get a brand audit, and we do a comprehensive, right? We're gonna look at your entire brand presence digitally. If you have a brick and mortar, we're gonna do some market research on your specific geographic area and your industry. We are then going to give you some insight on what we find based on what the market says, and also give you a simple strategy that you can walk away with. So whether or not you decide to retain me as your brand person, you'll have a strategy that you can walk away to give you some quick wins moving forward.
The thing about, so I was on Threads. Yeah, Threads is a wild place. That's where we met. And there was a guy saying he needs all this stuff for his business. And the thing he said he wouldn't pay for was the brand audit. I was like, that's why you're having a hard time hiring, because you don't want to pay for the thing you need the most.
Yeah.
Why is it that ego? It's the ego thing I was talking about earlier.
It is. And people start backwards. So people often come to me and they'll say, I got my domain name, I have a logo, I just need you to change these things on the logo for me. I got the social media, and they haven't done their research. And so in the audit, we do research. We're checking the trademark registry. And I could tell you, oh, you know what? I'm sorry you spent money on a website, but you actually can't use this name. It's trademark.
Yeah.
Or actually, there's another business in your city that has the same name. Or you're typing in this name. This also relates to this thing. So people don't do their research and they don't want to pay for it. You can do it yourself, but most people just don't.
You don't know what to look for.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Why? Out of all the things to skip in business, that's the one thing I'm not skipping because I can't see it. And then I'm looking at it through my eyes, but I'm not my customer. I'm not buying for me. They are. So I need to know what they're looking for and what I have to change. You also have a phenomenal campaign going. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I recently launched a campaign called the Black Women Sabbatical Campaign, where I am looking to take a year-long rest, a year-long break from all of the things and really focused on exploring what rest looks like for Black women. And I will be documenting this journey both on Substack and hope to do some videos so that I can turn this into a documentary once the year is up.
How do we support that? And why are you doing it?
Yeah, so one of the reasons why I'm doing it is because I'm tired. Long story short, some people may know this, but last year, over 300,000 Black women lost their jobs unexpectedly, right? You may also not know that Black women in their households are the primary breadwinners. Black women are also the largest growing demographic of people who are starting businesses. That being said, Black women work a lot and we are rarely ever given rest, nor do we take rest. In doing some research, I discovered that only 2% of women entirely, not just Black women, actually take an extended planned break from work. So essentially, once you start working, you never stop. Right. So like me, my first job was at 11. I got paid to help my neighbor who had MS carry in his groceries, do some like cleaning around the house, etc. And then my next job after that was babysitting. And then my next job after that was working at the mall. So since 11, I have always had a job. I have always been on someone's payroll. And I'll be 39 next month, right? Never taking a break. The one way that most women do take breaks is through maternity leave. And depending on your state, you have maybe 6, sometimes 8 weeks of maternity leave. But maternity leave is not really a break because your body is trying to recover and you're caring for a child. The other way that women usually take breaks is through some form of caregiving, either for their spouse or a parent. So let's say, your spouse gets sick, they have to go to certain treatments, or your parent is aging and you need to take some time to monitor their estate or handle things for them. The only other way that women take breaks is you have some kind of medical condition where you are forced not to work. So in every instance, women, Black women especially, only take breaks to do more work, right? Nobody's taking a break to say, I actually need a break. A weekend in Miami is not going to do it. A girl's trip is not going to do it. You really have to separate and decondition from all of the work that you've been doing. And I believe it's a grieving process. So many people put their identity is their work, right? If you meet somebody, you're out networking and they introduce themselves, they say, hi, my name is, and I am, right? And that's usually followed by the way in which they labor, not who they are, right? So I am an accountant, I am a this, I am a that we are constantly laboring and people don't take breaks. So after last year and just kind of, my crazy life as I'm getting older, my priorities are starting to shift. My son will be graduating high school this year and I'll be an empty nester. And I start to think this might be the first time in my life where I can actually take a guilty-free break because I won't be responsible for taking care of another human. I now work for myself, so I don't have strong ties or obligations to an employer, right? I don't have to wait for my employer to say, you've worked 20 years, you can take a month off. I can create this space for myself. And I want to be able to document it to show other women how to do this as well. Because since I brought it up, so many women have said, no, I would say no one has said, Brandy, that's a terrible idea. I don't know why you're doing that. Almost everyone has said, I wish I could do that. but they may not exactly know how. So I am, I'm going to be the brave one to take the year to do it, to show you how to do it, and then hopefully be able to pull together some resources so that you can do it.
That's fire. I can't wait. I love it. If you have the link, you could drop it in the chat.
Yeah, I will. Give me a second.
I did drop your Instagram page. Everyone go follow Brandy now. Get involved. You got an extra 10, 20, 30, 100, 5,000. Throw it on it. Let's get Brandy her year of whatever she wants to do. Let's get her that year. And I think this is a phenomenal idea. And once this gets some wave, it's going to pop off.
It is. I mean, I know why more people aren't doing it, but I think it definitely should be done. We are just seeing women just overwork themselves. I used to work with some psychologists, and psychologically, by the time you actually feel burnt out, you have completely burned out, right? By the time you recognize it, it's like having a tire and you're losing air. You don't know that you're slowly losing air. You just wake up to a flat one day, right? And it is hard to re-inflate yourself when you never stop going. Like, imagine you came outside. Hopefully this isn't happening to anybody. If it does, it was not me. But you come out to flat tire and you just keep on rolling, right? You don't go get a new tire. You don't try to put more air in it. You just keep rolling. And that's what's happening right now with Black women. We just keep on rolling.
It's time for a break. Let's get Brandy her break. I wish you success. And you'll be here tomorrow.
I'll be here tomorrow. I will be your guide tomorrow. So we're going to talk all the things. So if you have questions, you guys have seen the agenda. If you have questions that you want to make sure I ask guests tomorrow, you can send them to me on Instagram. I don't know if my Instagram is on here, but it's @BrandyWasHere_. Just send me questions and reach out.
I dropped it and I'll drop it again. I'll put it in the video. Brandy, see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to Brandy, the brand. Get that domain name, Brandy. Get that domain name. So we have one more speaker who's also one of our sponsors. So I need everybody to go to her page now, follow her page. Just do it right now. Tell her thank you for helping to make this event free for the public. And we're going to close it out with a bang. So here's the deal. This summit is going to change lives. Everything we're giving you, nothing we gave you, you need a crazy, not even a bachelor's degree to do. Most of the things, 80% of the things, you could do starting in 2 to 4 weeks and start to get to the bag. If you aren't making money after this summit, it's just because you didn't want to follow through. Just because you didn't see fit to follow through. We are giving you different industries, different startup costs, and all the above. All right. Can't hear you. Let me type here. Come up. Come back up. We are going to close this puppy out in style. We are going to get you guys some game. We are going to help businesses explode and get to the chicken. Look who we have. I can't hear you either. I wonder if it's me. Can you guys in the chat hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. And I don't know if you can hear Khalifa. Let's see whose mic it is. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you can hear me, say something. If you can't, say so. Well, if you can't hear me, you can't say anything. Let me see.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. How about me?
But I still can't hear you.
Okay, let me see. Rach in the city. Rach, can you hear me, Rachel? Are you the Rachel? All right, let me testing. How about now? Please, can you hear me now? Okay. They said that they can hear me. So you can. Let me type in the chat. All right, we're gonna figure that out. Yes, but can't hear. Okay, she's gonna log out, log in. The Rachel. Hello, the Rachel. All right, let's do a ninth inning stretch. Let's do a ninth inning stretch. We're gonna give it a good stretch. We've been here 3.5 hours, damn near, and tomorrow I think we're here 5 hours. We keep on getting speakers who want to speak. We'll see how this whole thing goes, man. But I'm excited. Okay, how about now?
Yep, I can hear you.
We got it. Woohoo! All right, we are back. We are in the flesh with royalty. I should play some Eve, right? Play some Eve. All right. Who do we have here with us?
Kalia Love. I am co-owner of Sankofa Cleanouts and Junk Removal.
Shout out to you, and thank you for being a sponsor for the event. I'm going to drop your Instagram page. Everybody go there, follow her now. Tell us what you do, man.
I do a lot of things. I am primarily a real estate investor.
Okay.
Yes, I'm primarily a real estate investor. I have been for coming up on 10 years now this month.
Wow.
From there, my partners and I were able to start a junk removal company, which I'm going to talk to you guys about today, where we perform junk removal services, demolition, cleaning, lead dust testing, as well as licenses and permits. And then I'm a mobile notary.
Shout out to all the above. Junk removal. Let's start there. How does one even get started with that? What made you get started? How's the profits and how much did it cost to start?
Okay.
We can start with the last one first.
Last one first. Okay. You said how much did it start to cost?
How much did it cost to get started?
How much did it cost to start?
Yep.
Literally $0.
Damn.
You can get started with $0. Like I can definitely go through how to start with $0. It kind of depends. If you have a truck, $0 if you have a truck. If you don't have a truck, $100 to rent a truck.
That's a win.
Yes.
Okay.
So literally got started with $0.
Where would we rent a truck from? And what kind of truck should we rent?
You can rent a truck from U-Haul.
Oh yeah, I pride myself on being simple, but that just makes you. It doesn't have to be a fancy. It doesn't have to be your own truck. It just needs to be a truck.
No, that's why I said $100. $100.
Okay, so we rent the truck. We said that we want to go hard for a week. We rent the truck for a week, $500. Who are our ideal clients, and how much would they pay us?
So, as with any business, you can have different target audiences. For me, because I'm already a real estate professional, my target was real estate professionals, right?
Makes sense.
What my team and I realized was, so we wholesale primarily, so we source off-market deals and we sell them to investors, and these are typically fixer-uppers, as is properties, right? Well, the very first thing that the investors have to do once they buy the property from us is they have to clean it out. So we got started by being able to tap into our network of people who we already knew who just needed these additional services.
Go where the money is. You already know the people. Genius. How much do you charge them?
So that depends. And that's where the skill kind of comes in it. Because it's not like a flat price, right? It depends, right? Houses, sometimes we deal with hoarder houses where houses, it's just stacked to the ceiling with stuff, furniture, clothes. But then
hoarders be wild, yo. They don't be getting rid of shit.
Yo, I love hoarder houses. I absolutely love hoarder houses, but it's absolutely insane. We have one property we're dealing with right now that's a hoarder house, and there's literally a tree in the kitchen.
Oh no!
Literally a tree growing through the kitchen.
Oh my God!
Like through the foundation, through the second floor, the walls is open, and it's a hoarder house. So
okay.
So like it really depends, right? It depends on how much debris there is, right? But it also depends on what type of debris. So as I mentioned, that's one example of a hoarder house. Is typically going to be furniture, clothes, household items, things like that. But we also work with real estate professionals, right? So sometimes they're developers and it's construction site, and sometimes we're cleaning up construction debris. Those weigh differently, right? And when you go to the dump to actually dispose of the debris, you're charged by the weight. So that's where you have to get skilled at to learn how to properly assess a job and to learn how much it actually weighs. And construction debris tends to weigh more than household debris, even if the construction debris looks like it's less of it, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I guess on a low end to what's your highest that you've ever charged?
Okay, low end for one item pickup, I mean, we're not charging less than like $150.
Okay.
$200, you know what I mean? And that's like picking up one item. On a high end, I mean, the biggest job that we've done, easily 10,000, maybe 11,000, over 11,000. It was a hoarder house.
That's fire. So you're a very polished lady. I don't assume that you're in hoarder houses. Do you hire staff, or what do you do?
So despite the way I look, I actually did the first.
You be in the houses. I've never seen those pictures on Instagram.
The last 10 years, like even before junk removal, just also sourcing off-market deals, we had to walk through these types of houses.
Wow.
So I was already familiar with walking through the houses. I actually, like I said, did the first few junk removal jobs. My partners and I, we physically did the jobs ourselves. So I actually cleaned out yards. I actually cleaned out basements. And actually, we added, when we added demo services a little while later, and we can get into that later, my partner and I, we're both women, we were the ones who actually went and learned how to do demo and taught our team how to do demo.
All right. Brother Dre was wrong. All right. I take that back. Now, do you own your own trucks currently?
Currently, no. But when we started out, we didn't. And then we scaled, and we had probably 5 trucks at one point. And then we scaled back and we changed our business model. And now we don't own any trucks. And our business model is more like an Uber style.
I love it. I love it. Middleman, your way to millions. Middlewoman, your way to millions. I love the model. Now, you said you're also in real estate.
Yes.
Wholesaling. How is that in Philadelphia?
So, like I said, I've been doing that for 10 years. It has changed, right? Markets change, seasons change. Right now, currently, it's still challenging. The market is, I won't say saturated. I feel like all markets are like saturated, so to speak. But it's kind of competitive. And then what makes it a little tough is Philly is not really landlord friendly. They're more tenant friendly. So that affects investors wanting to hold property in Philadelphia, which affects like how much property they're going to buy, right? Because if the laws aren't in their favor, they're not going to buy a ton of property. They're looking more in the counties where it's more landlord friendly.
That makes sense. Buy and hold. How do you like being a landlord?
I love being a landlord now. It definitely has its twists and turns. I loved it when I first started. I started out house hacking, which was great. Okay. I told you I went to Temple University. I actually bought a property near Temple University, and when I bought my property, it had Temple students living in it. So that was, I was going to say, a wonderful experience. It was kind of a wonderful experience. That was great. When the property is sitting vacant, that's not fun. I had tenants get into conflicts with each other. That was not fun. But currently, it's great. Both of my tenants just renewed. So, we're good.
That's dope. And I believe you have a daughter going to college. She's going to Temple?
No, she's not going to Temple. She actually wants to go to Morgan.
Okay. Shout out to Morgan. How do you feel about that?
I feel really proud for her because although I did go to college, I didn't get to like go away to college and like live on campus and stuff like that. So I'm really excited that she's going to have that experience.
I love that. Shout out to you for doing a great job.
Thank you.
Now, somebody says, okay, I want to do the junk removal business. I just want to outsource everything. Just control the phones and the contract. Is that doable starting out?
I wouldn't say starting out. I don't think
Okay.
any business. I don't think that you can start out doing any business completely hands off. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know the systems. You don't know what errors you're going to run into. You don't know how to fix the mistakes because you've never ran into those mistakes. You don't know what you're looking at. Like, you don't know what you're doing. That's with anything, right? You can't just start a restaurant and hire people. Like, you got to be in there. You got to know when the food is running out. You got to know what food is running. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know the ins and outs before you can be like, okay, I got a system going. I can step back now. But it's very, very easy to get to that point where you can then sit back after you put your team in place and put your systems in place. It's not that hard to get to that point.
Okay, I dig it. You also have a notary business. Is that your main business?
I would say real estate is the main business, and that feeds the other businesses.
Got
right?
you.
We work with investors, and they're the ones we're selling houses. Essentially, they're the ones we're selling all of our services to. We're just providing different services for real estate investors.
Genius. All right. So, what is your role in the phenomenal notary industry?
So, same thing. I started out as a mobile notary, doing it myself, running around like a crazy person for a couple of years. I was taking all of these appointments, but it was necessary for me to grow my business, to grow my clientele. And it got to the point where I had to hire someone just because I was so busy. I literally couldn't be two places at once.
A good problem to have.
A good problem to have, but I was so afraid to like trust people with my clients. I thought they was going to steal my clients. Like, I was just so afraid. But I ended up hiring somebody. She was amazing. Loved her. She was very reliable, professional. And then her availability kind of got a little shaky, forcing me to scale again. So it got to the point where I was forced to hire more people and forced to continuously expand because not everyone had completely open availability and things like that. So I had to continuously add other agents to my team. And now it's to the point where I literally have agents literally all over the US.
That's fire. Do you do mobile notary signings, whether it be you middlemaning or are you doing them yourself every week?
Yes, a few times a week, for sure.
A few times a week. Per closing, are you doing at least $200 per, $300? How you rating?
For loan signings, okay, so I have in-state prices and then I have out-of-state prices.
That's fire, by the way. That's absolutely fire. Okay, I keep going.
Yes. So in-state, $300 for a loan signing, $200 for a deed package. Deed packages are like our bread and butter. Like I said, I work with real estate professionals primarily. So not even just investors, but title companies, realtors. Like, they're already people who's all in my Rolodex. You know what I mean? So deed packages are my bread and butter. Loan signings are right after. And then it's an additional $50 out of state just because some states like California, New York, you're traveling longer places, things like that.
Okay. Well, give us a breakdown of a deed package.
A deed package. Okay. So in a real estate transaction, you have the seller and you have the buyer. The deed package, the deed belongs to the seller. So the deed package is just the closing documents that the seller has to execute. That's yeah.
Okay.
While loan signing buyer side.
Okay. How do you go about hiring subcontractors?
So I network with a lot of people. So I have people who are already in my network. Sometimes I have to literally just find people, whether it's social media, things like that. And then I just have a conversation with them. I reach out, I'm asking about their availability, but I'm also asking about their experience. I mean, it's not rocket science, but you definitely want to make sure they have experience executing loan documents. So I kind of vet them a bit and then I onboard them. Like, if I think they're a good fit, then I onboard them. I'm sending them over a package. They're getting a W-9, they're getting a contract, and they're getting a checklist as well.
The checklist. Why is that? How come you just don't say, hey, go out there and go do your thing?
So I did that until I kept running into the same issues and noticed myself repeating the same things. And so here's the thing about systems, right? Systems are necessary because you can't rely on yourself to remember to say the same things every single time. So I started to record what it is that I do, the questions that I ask them, so that I make sure that, you know, I'm delivering a quality experience to my customers every single time, because I'm always, you know, following the correct steps.
So it's the checklist isn't just for the subcontractor, it's for you, because you don't always want to trust your own memory as well. Let's get everybody on the same page and same accord. I love it. How soon do you pay after the closing or deed signing is performed?
So if it's somebody that I'm working with for the first time, I pay them within 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Normally by the end of the day or like top of the next day, depending on what I personally have going on. If it's somebody that's like local, who I use regularly, then I pay out every Friday.
You got a whole operation going.
I do.
You said partners a few times. Do you have partners in all of your businesses? Have you ever had to end a partnership? What are the pros and cons of having partners?
Great question. So in the notary business, it's just me.
Okay.
The junk removal company, I have one other partner. And then the real estate company, I have two partners. And the same partner who is my partner in the junk removal company, she's also partners with me in the real estate company.
Interesting. Okay.
And I think your question was
pros and cons. Have you ever had to fire anybody or end the partnership?
Yes. So these are also not the first businesses I had. I started my first business when I was in college. It was very short-lived. Me and my business partner, we literally came up with the idea in January. We launched in June, and by like mid-July, it was over.
Okay.
So we fell out. Yes, I did have to. That was my first experience with having to separate with a partner. And it was tough. You know, it was, we were also friends, so that was tough.
Yeah.
But we got through it, and we're still friends now. We weren't friends for a while. And then I went solo into a business. I had an online clothing store. And I think I kind of burnt myself out with that. I was a college student, mom, and running a business online, and it was just me. And it was hard for me to scale or go to the next level because I wasn't ever able to hire anybody or anything like that. So I was very intentional when I was interested in real estate. I was very intentional about wanting partners because I understood that I had this grand vision, and you see all of these things that I want to do. I'm like, there's no way I can do everything by myself, and I don't want to. So I was very intentional about getting partners going into the real estate business.
I wish more people knew about the part you don't want to. We think 5 businesses sounds cool until you have to run them all. Yeah. You need staff, partners, and all of the above to really.
You need somebody who's going to take the ride with you. That's the difference between a partner and hiring somebody, right? Hiring somebody doesn't guarantee quality. Hiring somebody, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to work very hard, right? Because they're just there for a check. But somebody who is invested in the success of the company just as well as you is, and is taking the losses as you know, just the same as you are, they're a lot more invested, and you can actually I don't know, you know, how it sounds, but like get more out of a person because they're equally invested in it. It's not just, well, whether it fails or whatever, I'm still going to get paid. It's not like that. So like they're invested in it being successful just like you are.
Genius. Do you have a favorite thing that you do currently? Is it junk removal? Is it wholesaling, buying and holding, notary?
I love them all for different reasons, but I would say favorite probably is real estate. It's emotionally unstable. It's very, it's the craziest one as well. Like it's the most stressful as well, but I like real estate the most because of the opportunity, because of like the many ways that you can build wealth. You can get rich, creative deal structuring, acquiring assets, you know what I mean? Like, and making a ton of money. Like that's the business where you're getting $50,000 checks at one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hard to turn down right there. It might be worth the chaoticness if you're gonna kind of run. I love it. Do you have any trainings? Do you coach people, or just they got to learn it on their own, then come holler at you for work?
So more of like that kind of model. So my partners and I obviously talked about it and people have asked us to like do courses and different stuff. But honestly, like we're so busy doing the work that it's hard to also now carve out time, because that's really another business. It's just hard to carve out time to be like, all right, let's sit down and like get all of this stuff out and do it. Even though it's a desire for ours, we just really have to carve out the time to do it. I think we're really going to do it for junk removal though, because I don't really see a lot of people in that space.
Absolutely, you should. I don't think I've ever seen a junk removal
right?
program. Yeah,
Right.
that would be genius. I'll help you launch it when you're ready to get it going. So,
Okay. I'm gonna reach out.
all right, you know where I'm at. So if a notary entrepreneur is watching this, they say, I want to work for your company. I am experienced. I can follow directions. How should they go about hollering at you to be a subcontractor for your wonderful agency?
Okay. So, well, okay, if you want to work with me, you can just simply reach out. I just collect your information. Let me know like what areas you serve, things like that, and I'll just reach out when I get jobs in that area. I do have like a small, like not interview, but conversation that we have. But literally just reach out like on Instagram, or I can share my contact information. And I was actually going to mention, would you say, how do I hire other notaries? Or what was the question? I'm sorry. You asked the question right before this. I can't hear you anymore if you're talking.
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
No. You want me to go out and come back again?
Yeah. Head out and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. All right. Live and direct, we are here wrapping up the Boring Business Summit, day one. It's been a long 3.5, almost 4 hours. Back at it tomorrow, day two, the closeout day. Thank you for everybody who joined. Thank you for everybody who supported. Thank you everybody who shared, who attended. Tomorrow we are at it 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Brandy is holding it down for most of the day tomorrow, so I can rest my voice. Talking for 4 hours is tough. People think it's easy to get on here and talk. It ain't easy, man. It takes a lot of work. All right, let's get Kalia in here. Okay. How are we looking?
Good. Perfect.
All right, cool. In conclusion, somebody wants to work with you, they should have experience already, correct?
Oh, that's what I was saying. Thank you. You don't always have to have experience. So when you ask me, like, do I offer mentorship or courses or anything like that? No, I don't. But I've always told people, like, especially notaries, like, I'll hire you though. Like, I don't have additional time to train you, but I do train my notaries. So even if you don't have the full experience, I may not hire you initially, like for a loan signing, but even if you don't just like have any experience, I'll definitely train you on the job. It'll be like me hiring you, and I'll absolutely walk you through the documents. I'll walk you through everything, and I'm always available for the duration of the appointments for all questions and everything like that. So when you're leaving an appointment, like, you're fine. Everything will be fine.
I totally love that. Who in the notary game, who are your favorite kind of clients? Title companies, abstract lenders, or you don't care? Anybody who's paying is good.
So no, I have favorites. Absolutely, absolutely. Like, the order is probably title companies, lenders, realtors, and then investors. Those are all of my top those are all of my clients, but in that order. Title companies, why? Who's closing deals all day long? They're not just closing one deal a month. They're not just closing one deal a week. They're closing 10 deals a day, right? So they're the people who have your money. So title companies are my number one, right? And then you got lenders. I have a lender who, lenders are usually nationwide, or they're usually in multiple states. So they have multiple clients. And I have one lender partner who sends me all of his clients, and they're all over the country, literally. And then I have realtors. Again, same thing. they're closing deals, you know, every month or a couple of times a month or something like that. And they also have clients who are in other states. And then you got your investors. They're either closing deals once a month or maybe a couple of times a month.
I love it. I love it. So we have your information. We dropped it in here. We dropped your Instagram. Any numbers, email you want to give out, or I haven't hit you up on Instagram?
Sure, yes. So our office line actually, and this is where we have one main office line where, you know, you can press 1 if you want to sell your house and go through all of the things. So it has all of our services that we provide, and it'll guide you through where to go. So our office line is 215-987-2802. And like I said, you'll be prompted to, you know, enter in a number to direct you somewhere.
All right, 215-987-2802.
Yes.
All right. And if we're selling a house, is it only in Philly that you do your wholesaling in the business?
Primarily,
Okay.
Philadelphia and surrounding counties. It's the market that we know. We've tried to go into other markets. It's a little bit tough because, yeah, just as with everything, it's a learning curve. You got to learn the different markets. In Philly, like it's a city, so we have a lot of like row houses. And so a lot of our properties are close together. So when you're trying to find comps, you can't go out. Like you may think you're just 3 blocks over and it's really close, but it can be a completely different neighborhood just 3 blocks over. Right. Whereas other places like Ohio or something like that, the houses are so much more spaced apart that you may be able to go out a half a mile and find a comp. But in Philly, no, you're in a totally different neighborhood if you go out a half a mile.
Makes total sense.
Yeah,
Stick to what's working.
Right. And what I know.
Stick to what's working. We appreciate the game, ma'am. That junk removal training program is going to be fire. I can't wait to assist you on the launch of that. Congratulations on all your success. Thank you for helping us make this event free for the public. We appreciate your time, your effort. We will see you soon. Keep us posted on everything you have going on.
Will do. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. See you later.
All right.
All right. All right, guys. We are out of here. Day 1 in the books. She was phenomenal, wasn't she? Greetings, Brother Dre. What's up, Rod? Shout out to my man Rod in the chat. Doing major real estate. So I love how everything is under the real estate umbrella, so she doesn't have to leave real estate. And the investors need notaries for closing. The investors need junk removal. The investors need houses. Why not just stay in real estate? I think it's phenomenal. All right, to close out, we have some housekeeping. I need everyone to go buy my book, How to Get Started, How to Get Your Notary Business Underway, $22 ebook. Everyone go there and buy it. If you already bought it, buy it again. All right, $22. The link is in the chat. If you're watching the replay, the link will be there as well. If you want to get in the notary game, I created a mentorship for you to get started. So you can come learn the documents, then go holler at our girl Kalia, go do some work for her. Everybody wins. We keep the money in the community, right? She is a phenomenal person to work with. You really want to really get with her. She gets work and she knows how to run a professional organization. She's somebody who you want to have. Follow her on Instagram right now. I know her actually everyone who's spoken today, I actually know them personally, and I can vouch for their reputation and how great of a person they are and how good of a person they are to work with. Tomorrow, we are back at it 10 a.m. Be here. We have a franchisee. We have a sales expert. We have somebody who is a home inspector, another business that's, being a realtor, being a home inspector. Now, the upside to being a home inspector isn't as high as being a realtor, but the likelihood of you making $6,000 to $8,000 to $12,000 a month as a home inspector drastically outweighs being a realtor. I'm not shitting on being a realtor. I've been one. Fam, home inspector, 12 o'clock. How to buy apartment buildings and wholesaling, Marquise Robinson. Is that 1? I think that's 2 o'clock. Frank, another sponsor for this weekend. He owns 20 or so properties in Pittsburgh, 20 or so properties in Pittsburgh, and he works with the government on the rentals, not just Section 8. He rents to different sectors, but they're all government related, or damn near all government related. Stamper, notary agency dealing with estate planning documents. He is out of California. That's at 4 o'clock. Ryan McCrary, how to build an online business. I think that's at 3 o'clock. Then me closing it out, how to make $1 million in your coaching business sooner than later with literally one industry. You think you need 7? Fam, you need 1. I just showed you earlier my Gumroad account with $285,000. My top selling program on there is a 14-hour training. I made $126,000 from a 14-hour training. $126,000 from a 14-hour training that I recorded once. I might have done like a few updates in the videos, but the shit keeps selling. Everyone loves it. It has 4.8 5-star reviews. So I'm out of here. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab my book. You're going to support our guest, Anthony Harzak. His information I dropped earlier. I'll drop it again. What's up, Anthony? Shout out to everyone who spoke earlier. Alex, Steven, Anthony, Chris, Kalia, everyone who came through, dropped heavy game. Whew. The problem isn't you learning enough. The problem is you learn too much shit. That's good. Like, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Pick 1 or 2 things. If it's notary, get with Kalia. Get with her ASAP, especially if you're in Philly or surrounding areas. Get with her, learn the game, and get that hands-on training. No one's giving out that kind of training. I'm not working with anybody new unless they came through the program. I'm not working with you. I need someone who already knows what they're doing. So it just shows you the kind of level, the kind of patience she has and able to able to have that foundation. Shout out to Billy representing California. Charles, we need you to host an interview tomorrow. We need you to come in and host an interview tomorrow. Text the brother. So I'm out of here. I'm Andre C. Hatchett, founder of the Boring Business Summit. We appreciate everybody who has contributed. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 10 a.m. sharp. Tell a friend, subscribe to the channel, like the video, go buy something. Let's cook.